Why, hello. What's going on, everybody? My name's Fred.
My name is Emily.
And how's everyone
we
doing?
Lived.
We survived.
Woo! Sorry, I have like a
we
knife.
survived.
Woo! Woo!
Scotty doggy with 2 months.
Scotty! Can you hear my voice is mostly back?
I'm going to repeat a couple because we had a few. We've had
Ding!
We're doing really
We're
good.
doing it! Dragon Boy, thank you so much.
You know,
Time for Party Mug Life. That's going to be the tagline of all future Twitch Londons. Woogly!
I said that to Wiggly when I saw him this weekend. I went, Woogly! I'm glad you had a good time, dude.
Making some great...
That was earlier.
How dare
I didn't have OBS open at the time, so I don't even know.
Hang on. Hang on.
And then PG. I didn't see. We still went live.
Yeah.
See? Still went live.
Didn't forget.
Hell yeah.
Woohoo.
God yeah. Fuck your fucking. There you go. There you go. There you go.
Thank you. It was a Twitch 564 party.
No, seriously.
It was.
So
because it took 564 years off my life.
Collected one. Subscribe as soon as the stream
one.
started. Thank you very much,
Thank
Collected
you
one.
so much.
Hey,
oh my
Blinks.
goodness.
Good to see you.
Thanks. 10 out of 10. Babe of the century.
Hi. Hi. How you doing? Good to see you, chat. My God, it's been a few days. It's been a few days.
Ah, Demon Cat Daphne, how are you?
Yo, Daphne, good to see you.
Kansas Law Dog.
Hey, Kansas Law Dog, good to see you too, man.
Yeah, sorry, I'm still a little husky. There was a lot of running around, a lot of talking and running, and it's.
Blinks, thank you for the prime, appreciate it. 14 months. Really good to see you this weekend.
It was so not even just see you, but actually meet you. Fred, is this yours? This is an escaped Coca-Cola. On my side of the desk. Blocking the cat.
Yes.
Could you imagine blocking Florence on this
Tasman
day?
gifting a sub. Thank you, Tasman.
Hey, thank you so much. Gifting a sub to Haxon. And then we got... Yes!
There we go, there we go.
Yay!
Yes. No, I didn't see you.
Okay.
How did we miss each other?
I don't understand. I DM'd you. No, I tweeted out. I didn't even DM him. I just tweeted out and was like, Dean, where the hell are you? At like 11 o'clock at night. And he was like, I literally just left. And I was like, yeah, how could this have happened?
I'm mad about it. Genuinely salty that I missed Dean. Genuinely.
But Dean has been promised a homemade lasagna.
Yes.
And now that Twitch London's out of the way, we're going to plan lasagna time with Dean.
Chat, you've all been very patient.
Florence! I would return. Oh. Yes. Thank you so much, my God. Look.
Now,
it went so well.
It went really well. Obviously,
I didn't run into Dean either. Did you? Were you dodging Dean?
Pizza Pixie gifting.
Oh my God.
5.
Thank you so much.
Hey, chat, that's a game giveaway, by the way.
Gifting subs to Thomas Cooley, Simulator Gaming, Trigger Happy, Checknuts, and Ryan Gaming. Welcome in. I don't really know. My English not so good, apparently. Hey, Dan, how you doing? You saw Dean? Well, I was finally...
Meow, meow, meow.
I was finally starting to relax, and I was like, where's Dean? Why haven't I seen Dean? Look at his kid. I was like, and I literally, because I saw Jetstorm, I saw Imp, I saw Woogly, I saw so many people. I saw Wild Lemons, I saw Lime Tilly. You see, now I put myself in a position where I have to try and remember all of the mugs that I met. I saw Say Bossy. I saw shit. There's somebody I'm forgetting.
There's definitely somebody.
I want to say Hermit Andy, but I don't think that's who it was.
Yeah. Oh,
who has a name?
Sheldon, Doris.
I mean, Sheldon, Doris, Laura. You see, there are so many people. Yeah. I did not see you. I saw Siobhan. I saw Jaggy Snake.
Jerky Snake.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have started this. I knew as soon as I started listing, I was like, no. I saw Lima Tilly.
My God, Lima Tilly gave us brownies, and we didn't eat them until Monday. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit worried that in case they dried out, and I found them like amongst the rubbish heap that we have in the living room.
Oh yeah, you don't want
boxes. And
we're
stuff.
We're gonna like reclaim the flat.
Those
soon.
are the nicest brownies I've ever had, ever.
They were so tasty. Finally managed to get a photo with you this time.
Nice.
Yes, I kept promising myself I'm gonna take pictures, right? But I always get so overwhelmed that. And also occasionally I'll be like, I'll meet a mug and I'll be like, oh, do you want to get a picture? And they'll be like, no, I'm all right. And I'm like, oh, that's fine. Like I'm not like, no. I want a picture, but they'll be like chatting with me. I forgot to take pictures. I'm so sad. It's so hard.
Write a little note down for the next one.
We have 2 photographers and a videographer and a photo booth. So if you can't get any photos, I mean, I always look awful in the Twitch London photography, and I don't blame the photographers at all. They're always running around trying to get nice pictures of me, and I'm always talking. So I'm always like,
thank you, Abs.
You know, Mr. One Another won the first of the giveaways, and you have won Tales from Off Peak City, Volume 1. Nice. Oh, do you know it's actually quite exciting? No, basically, I've got a cool game to put on the wheel. I'll tell you about that in a minute.
We do have a cool game to put on the wheel. Here you go. You
didn't see anyone as you were at home in bed? No. G-Plus, thank you very much, Fred. G-Plus, thank you so much for the 78 months. My God.
69% on the hype train?
Yeah, baby, that's what I like to hear.
Now, I just want to get, one thing I want to get out of the way real quick. Right. Now, I know a few of you guys, like, I love you guys. I love you to death. You guys are awesome. You guys are all, like, backing us up, bigging us up and stuff like that. Twitch London, all right? Overwhelmingly positive, like absolutely. It's actually, I mean, Emily, we're talking about this. Is the most amount of positive feedback we've ever seen, and I think a lot of people are coming to our defense about some of the a few of the complaints people had, such as like there was like long queues and stuff like that. And I just want to say, I just want to say really quickly,
I love you all.
We're not sad about the event.
No,
we're not upset.
It was amazing, and people are allowed to have their opinions, and like don't.
Yeah.
Like, not saying, like, you can obviously do whatever the fuck you want with your Twitter, right? But I would say, like, if you see somebody being like, I thought the drinks were too expensive, don't feel like you need to be like, well, it's London, just leave it. It's totally fine, right?
Some people are saying... Oh, no, PG, I can't wait to see it. Yeah, honestly.
Blinks, oh my God, who gives a fuck about the queue? Actually, the best thing about it... Thank you so much. I'm Dutch. I'll complain about money. That doesn't mean I'm actually complaining about the event. I mean, at the end of the day, right? I think there is a mixture of like people who are kind of like, you should move the event to somewhere else, or people being like, you should like subsidize it. And obviously, you can't.
Are we perfect event organizers? No. Is it possible to make an event perfect for everyone? No. But at the end of the day, you don't want to get caught. And I've dubbed this content creator syndrome.
Yes.
Which is you hear 100 nice things and then you see 99 nice things and one person says something bad and it's louder than the 99.
Yeah, you can never please everybody. And sometimes it can feel hurtful because obviously it's a free event and it's run by 3 part-time people and 1 full-time. So it can feel a bit like, you know, it's a little bit like when that person was like, it was fun, but it wasn't as good as Thought Park. And you can just be a bit like,
well, sometimes people are a bit weird, right? Some people would be like, and guy, we're doing really good, actually. I'm not gonna lie. We're tired, but we are riding the high of Twitch London because it was genuinely, and when I said it was an absolute success, I wasn't saying like, oh, it's absolutely great. I was saying it's an absolute success.
Yes.
Like, everyone, all the people who sponsored are over the moon. Yeah. The volunteer team who came along, who were the mental health charity, they
Safe in Our World.
Safe in Our World.
They were super happy.
Save the world.
Save the world.
They were like having the best time. And at the end of the day, I've seen a few people defending us.
Thank you so much for the sub.
Boop.
Boop. Boop now is what we say.
It's really not needed because honestly, it was a great event. And honestly, every now we do take that feedback and we do sort of like talk about it after events and apply it. So I just wanted to say that whilst there are some things we could do better, overall,
it was smooth as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. Everything I was worried about, everything I was like, shit, what if? Like, people complaining about the queue, but the longest I saw anyone say they have to wait, bearing in mind as well that you get a lot of hyperbole on Twitter, was 30 minutes. Somebody's like, oh, I had to wait half an hour to get in. And I'm like, that's a totally acceptable amount of time. Excellent. Do you know what I mean?
I did want to reply because, like, part of you get a little bit, when you're tired, right, you get a little bit defensive. And I wanted to reply to a few people being like, you think you had it bad? I arrived, I got there, at 4 and didn't even get into the venue until 9 because I was scanning COVID passes. I was outside for 4 hours. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, people are in their own.
No, really. Oh, mate, I can tell them how much it costs. Apparently, she saw one of the complaints attended to a thread of people thinking about organising their own. And they actually said they were going to try and get an event done at Thorpe Park. Do you remember when we looked up how much that would cost as a meme?
we actually priced it out, and it is, well, I mean, it's a small loan of a...
Yeah, no, I think it was like £150,000.
That was dry.
And that included like a sort of small lunch. And that was it.
Yeah. That wasn't including a sound system or anything.
Oh, no. There could be no... You just get the place. So, yeah, I mean, do with that what you will. It went really well. I wouldn't want to be in your shoes organising something like that. Mate, I don't want to be in my shoes. I don't want...
It is...
Get me out of these shoes!
It is simultaneously a great thing to do because you do get... Because, like, you want to say, like, oh, it's a thankless job. It's not. Like, oh my god, people were thanking me all night long. Yeah. I didn't even do that much work. It was but Sophie, Ben, and Emily did most of the work. I did all the...
Yeah, because Fred's not one of, like... I mean, he's obviously an organizer, but he's not one of, like, the event planners. Fred...
I don't talk to sponsors. I don't talk to the venue. I literally talk about the overarching things, sort of like how things should look on social media, how things should look like banners and stuff like that at the events.
Yeah. And so Fred is, like, the graphic designer. He does the videos.
I wear the tight trousers.
He's the eye candy.
You know what I mean? I wear tight trousers and wiggle my butt around at the events.
Girly Gamer. I actually did see your DM at death o'clock, and I am going to sit down and reply to it. I actually have like 3 or 4 incredibly nice but really long DMs I didn't want to give like flippant replies to. I will make sure. Oh my god, I saw you as well, Live Action Pixel. I didn't forget, I swear. Couldn't find you. Thank you, Fred. And then I just started my way through saying hi to Emily. You were fine. It was delightful. No, I honestly. Again, I won't go into any detail about anything, but what I do want to say is that anyone who has concerns about an attendee coming to the event who brings it to me, you're the best person ever.
You actually just reminded me.
It's really hard to talk about stuff, and it's so like helpful to us to solve problems before they come up. Do you know what I mean? It's so much better than having to make apologies and like change stuff after. Also, big props to Twitch for giving us those cups with the lids on them. Absolutely stan. I've been trying to get cups with lids for ages. And do you know how much I wanted those cups? We've had them for like 2 years while we were waiting to use them. And I was like, yes, that's such a great safety thing. I love them. And I don't know if that's what Twitch intended them for, but I was like, yes, I'm just giving these out at the event to anyone.
It was excellent.
You know, I have like 10 of them. So like the cups with the lids and the straws so that you can just refill them. And thank God, the event were totally happy about refilling them and said like, oh, everyone wanted their cups refilled. And
Tell
I'm like,
them what the bar people were doing with those cups.
I will. I have so many stories for you all. It's not even funny. But, so when we got to the end of the night, I went walking around to check, see if anything had been left, whatever, and I saw there was still a big, like, there's still quite a few cups, not like a ton, but like a couple of boxes. Thank you so much for the 17 subs and 1,000 bits, a legendary start. Nice. So put my liquor in a cup to go, love it. But right, I was like, fuck, these cups are so good, and I at least want to hold them to one side for people who are worried about like having an open drink on the night. So I boxed them all up, and I couldn't leave them in the venue overnight. So I said to Sophie and Ben, do you guys want to get an Uber home? And I ordered them an Uber XL. Oh my God, it cost like £112. Literally, it was £112 to save like, I don't know, 2 boxes of cups. But I was like, no, it's worth it. I want these cups. So I straight up just sent them home. It was supposed to be like 90 quid when I ordered it. And then when Sophie got back, she was like, yeah, it was. But I wanted those frigging cups.
They're currently in lemons. I'm not gonna we've only just come back to life, just like in the last like hour. Like we were gonna like stream at normal time today, but we were just both sort of like,
I'm coming back to life.
Yeah. We're back to normal tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah. No, I mean,
still so tired.
I don't want to start by telling you what we did yesterday because I want to talk to you about all the other stuff.
So,
but
my God, Jack, Johnny Cakes, thank you for the 31 months.
One of my absolute favorites.
So, you know, we had to get the printing done, right? And most of the printing was absolutely fine. Apparently, I had Sophie, Ben, and Emily all patting me on the back because I was really organised about the printing this time around.
Legend.
And so the problem was, though, is that the sponsors were dragging their feet a little bit in approvals.
Mini Maestro, did we meet you?
Did I meet you? I don't remember meeting you.
Did we hug? I don't remember.
I hope you came and said hello.
But yeah, everyone did so much. Everyone did the most. It was wild.
And so
Swill, congratulations for winning the hype train giveaway.
Yo, Swill, boom, Flame of the Flood. And the sponsors, they were kind of like taking their time approving things, which makes sense. It is their brand after all, and it's kind of one of those things where it's a little bit annoying, but actually the sponsors are just trying to like make sure they have the right. Because they want to meet,
Ray,
all you guys, right? They want to meet the viewers straight. They want to have a big impact. But it did mean that ordering was really close. And then there was this one thing I ordered. I didn't realize where it was coming from or how it was being shipped. And it was a step and repeat, right? If you guys don't know what a step and repeat is sort of like where you stand to get your photo taken. It's got the logo repeating over and over again. You know, you see it in movie places all the time, right? They print them in India. And
2 days before the event.
On Wednesday, like this Wednesday just gone, and the event starts on Friday. Saturday. It was in India.
It was in Mumbai. We were like, so where? Oh, yeah.
On Thursday, it was in France, in Paris. And then they delivered it they attempted to deliver it on Friday. And I had my phone on my hip, like in my pocket, the entire time, right? Apart from this one time when my battery was quite low. So I put my phone on charge here at the desk. And Emily goes, Fred, I just had a shower. Could you get me a towel, please? And I get up, give Emily a towel, and we're chatting about some nonsense. I'm like, oh my God, have you seen this TikTok or something like that? And then I hear, and I'm like, oh my God. And I literally run all the way over here, miss the call, ring the front door back, buzz it in, run downstairs, take the elevator. He's already gone. Literally, he went and ran away.
We spent £80 on shipping. Just shipping. All right? And so anyway,
he didn't even knock twice.
We were like, oh no, crisis, because everything else was there. Our wristbands, look how gorgeous.
Our wristbands are really nice.
They were so gorgeous, literally mad props to Carlo. We gave him like almost no brief, which is not how I like to do these things. I usually like try and have a relatively decent brief, but literally the most fucking gorgeous thing I've ever seen. I want an entire outfit made of it. I love it. Well, yeah, I mean, you know, different material. So I love it. They're so cute. So the wristbands got there. The last remaining posters got there. Everything was like last minute shipping. The step and repeat does not get delivered. Fuck. Okay. So Fred runs downstairs and this is Friday. So this is the day of the VIP event. So Sophie and Ben are grabbing all of the print work, everything we've had made up in literally 2 Uber XLs and traveling from the office up to central London with it. So Fred's like, right, I'm going to go bring over the last of the bits that just showed up and I am going to help them load up the cars and then I'm going to come back. I then sit on my computer trying to work out how we can get our hands on this thing. I'm like trying to call FedEx. Obviously, there's no number. I eventually managed to get through to one of those like text support things. And I speak to someone and I'm like, hey, look, we've got this like £500, £600 delivery that we just missed like minutes ago. We really want it. In fact, we need it for Saturday. Can you let me know what we can do? Right? And they're like, oh, yeah, okay. So we're not going to be able to redeliver until Monday. And I'm like, well, that's fucked. But you can go and collect it tomorry.
Interesting.
Brilliant. So they're like, you can go and collect it. The depot is open from 9. This is the address. And I'm like, can you get them to email me to confirm that that's happening? And they were like, yeah, we'll ask, but I can't guarantee. But don't worry, you just need to bring ID, you need to bring the tracking number, and you need to go to West Byfleet. So, obviously, we were not planning on going to West Byfleet the morning of the event. But what you gonna do? So I'm gonna skip over the VIP event and then come back to it.
Yeah.
Just to finish this story. So, VIP event happens. We travel home. It's obviously death o'clock at night.
Yeah, it's really late. We're quite drunk. You know what I mean? We've been having a good time, and so we order I think a pizza, and then we basically crash.
Yeah,
and
so
because we've got to be up relatively early, not super early, but relatively. Right?
So I think we were still waiting for like one last delivery.
The wristbands.
There was the wristbands. So we're waiting for the wristbands to show up that morning, and they were supposed to show up anytime before 12. And then knock on the door at 10 o'clock, it's the wristbands.
Like,
amazing.
Yeah.
So I've had a weird situation with this FedEx address they've given me, because when I looked it up, I said there's another business there. But there are 2 other FedEx addresses in that industrial park.
Hey, Becky.
Becky, it's so nice to see you. So there's two other FedEx addresses in that industrial park. And I'm like, okay, so worst case scenario, they've given us the wrong like street address, but it's still that area.
In the area, right? Walkable, yeah.
So Fred and I, we've got up, we've got the wristbands, and we're like, right, we're going to get another maybe like hour of sleep, because the plan was we're going to grab everything we need, all of our clothes, everything. We're going to jump into an Uber, go to West Byfleet, pick up the step and repeat, and then get on the train from West Byfleet back into London.
Yeah.
Very organised, delightful.
Planned.
Except, Fred goes, what if this place is like the post office, you know, where it shuts early? Now, I've obviously been looking up to see when it closes, but there's no real information because the address isn't right, blah, blah, blah. So.
Yeah.
So Fred goes, do you know what? I'm just going to leave right now. Right? So Fred.
With no sleep.
Fred literally leaves with like 5 hours sleep. Jumps into an Uber, and we like scrap the whole plan that we had about like going on the train and stuff. Fred just jumps into an Uber and is like, right, I'm going to go collect the stuff. And he is worried that it's going to close at 12. And he gets there just before 12, and he's like, yes,
like 5,
excellent.
5 to 12, like, yeah, you know. And then by the time I get to the front door, it's probably like 3 minutes to 12, right? And I'm sort of like, right, even if they close at 12, so quick in out, sort of, here's my ID, proof of address, here's my number, get the thing, get out, waste none of their time, they waste none of my time, jobs are good. So I get to the front door, and the front door, hang on, I actually took a picture of it. The front door is closed, and I'm sort of like, no big deal, like, you know, just, it's obviously, it's not like the usual place, but they've obviously arranged it so we can pick it up, all that sort of stuff. So I get there, and I'm greeted to this, right? Saturday, 7 till 12, right?
So we were told that they opened at 9.
Yes.
But they open at 7. And we weren't told when they closed, but apparently it's 12.
And so I then, it's got a bit of paper next to it being like, for collections and deliveries, please use the staff entrance. And I'm like, okay, so what's happened is, this is like just a depot, and it's just a depot, and they like, people don't, like, customers don't normally come here. They just like go around the corner, collect your stuff, if that's the case, right? So I walk around the corner, and I go to the staff door, and you've got to have a fob to get in, and I'm getting a bit like, oh my god, like, I have to bang on the door and try and get someone's attention. It's now it's like 1 minute to 12. I'm getting a bit like, oh. And I knock on the door quite loudly, and a guy pops head around the corner. You know.
Hey, Filbert.
Hey, Filbert. And he's like, walks up, and he talks me through because he can't open the door because he's not staff, he's just a builder. And he goes, I don't know what it says online, mate, but they cleared off about 11:30. And I'm like, they closed early. They just closed early.
So, Fred is stuck in West Byfleet, right? No step and repeat. No hope of getting the step and repeat. Needs to pee. Dead. Trying to get an Uber. Can't. Yeah, full 30 minutes early, right? We're obviously furious. So I am trying to call everybody and see what I can do and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, we tweeted out, and then we've got all these FedEx representatives texting us or like DMing us going, oh yeah, maybe we can help you. And then we're talking to them, and they're like, well, actually, I'm in America.
Well, this is the thing, is that in the UK, after midday on Saturday until Monday morning, FedEx UK is uncontactable.
Yeah.
No phone number, no online. You can't even do online support. They haven't even outsourced it to a different country or anything like that. You literally can't do that. It's gone. Like, that's it. FedEx UK does not exist from midday Saturday until Monday morning.
Yeah.
So then I'm basically talking backwards and forwards from this person. I then say, could you please confirm the location of my parcel?
Yeah, because while FedEx themselves have said you need to go to West Byfleet and collect it, our tracking info said it's in Feltham. Now,
the complete opposite direction.
I would have gone to Feltham as Fred went to West Byfleet and just gone in separate directions if they opened at all on the weekend, which they do not. They don't even open for an hour on Saturday or on Sunday. So, Fred gets this DM and said, it's the step and repeat blinks.
£300 step and repeat.
It was 500.
with shipping.
Oh, right. Okay, fair enough.
Like the shipping and the frame.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the frame costs money too. But right,
the frame we can still use in the future.
Fred gets a DM going, oh yeah. So it's in Feltham. It was never in West Byfleet.
It was never there. I literally went to West Byfleet for the lols.
Yeah. So what was supposed to be maybe an hour round trip, you're on my living room TV, so I can get tea while I clean the house. That is literally
Lovely.
Perfection.
Lovely.
You can hear all the drama.
You're almost life size. Give me a hug.
Not today, my makeup.
Give me a hug.
But no, it's fine. So
yeah, I went on the wild goose chase. Literally, honk honk.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, have you on my speakers?
Do I sound very husky? So we can't use it at the next one because obviously the sponsors won't be the same unless by like actual wizard magic they are. But even then, our logo won't be the same. So yeah, we can't use it again. That being said, assuming the frame is kind of sturdy, we will be able to use it.
Yeah.
We will at least be able to use the frame.
It's currently in the hallway.
Now, bear in mind.
The floor.
Yeah, so we're going to build it, and if it's good, then next time we can order a new piece of print work to be hung on the frame, because we need something that's
going to be a lot cheaper.
We need something that's freestanding, because obviously even if a venue has, like, for example, a big bar for lighting, like this one did, they don't like you to hang things off it, because if someone decides to dangle off the thing, they could pull the whole lighting rig down on their head. And if you know anything about humans, is that they're going to dangle on stuff. Like, they can't be stopped when they're dangling. So we are going to complain to FedEx about the Uber situation and hopefully get some of that money back, because, I mean, how much money do you think we spent on Ubers? In that, just that extravagant.
I don't even want to know how much. I don't want to know.
Like it's a solid hour and a bit of Ubers.
Well, it cost me 25 quid to get there. It cost me, I think, 30 quid to get home. And that was just on a wasted journey. Yeah. Then all the other journeys, my God. I even gave the guy who dropped me off a little bit of extra money, because I said, if you can get me there as soon as possible, that'd be great. And he, I mean...
Hey, Artemis, I'm just saying, if I went to an event, I would not be caught dangling off people's shit. I'm just saying.
What's this?
Like, it may be a human impulse, but I don't understand it. But, you know, you have to be careful of that kind of stuff. Yeah, Tom, I didn't want to think about it. I don't want to look at my bank. We are choosing to just, that's like, no, what? Because people always think that we get free drinks at the event, but, like, we don't. We buy everything, too.
Yeah, I think people think that we, like, are, like, rich off the event or something like that, or like, I don't know, I get the impression people think we're like some big conglomerate company or something like that. Like, it's not just like a family business almost. Spider Mooses, 20 months. Mooses. It was good to meet you this weekend.
It was so nice. Yeah, so
we had a few people be like at the VIP event, be like, do we have to pay for the drinks? And I'm kind of like being a bit like, so you're like upset that I'm not paying for your drinks. I don't know. It was a little bit like, I understand, but also at the same time, because they see an event and they just think company, and it's like, no, it's me. It's me. It's us.
That being said, last VIP Amazon Games sponsored, and they paid for everything. They paid for the whole bar.
It was good.
That was the tightest night of my life. But shockingly, a lot of companies don't want to cough up 15 grand so that you can have free drinks. You know. And there were free drinks, but like just not enough for the whole night and for everybody. And honestly, when I get a sponsor who is willing to put some money behind the bar, you have to understand how wildly based that is.
Yes.
And the reason I say that is because most companies don't want to have anything to do with alcohol, let alone pay for your drinks, especially if they don't know who it's going to. Like, they might pay for Blinks' drinks because they might really want to talk to Blinks.
I mean,
but
who
like,
doesn't?
I mean, what am I going to say? But, you know, for some people, they're like, I don't care about talking to that person. They're not getting a free drink. Which, you know. So, Reese! Yes! Reese. 57 months. The one thing that left me a bit confused with the email was food and drink was sponsored. Yeah, no, there was free food. I think we had about 800 quid's worth of free food. And I don't actually remember how many, 800 quid's worth of free drinks? A grand? I think it was a grand.
No, it wasn't. It was just under a grand, I think.
Yeah.
Literally like just shy of a grand. So there was drinks and food and stuff like that. But like, obviously, like, I think people were expecting like a 3-course meal, which I think is kind of I don't know, maybe it's like an expectation versus reality sort of thing.
Yeah, like, and like, obviously, when it comes down to like companies and like, so like one company sponsored the food basically because they were like, they don't want to spend money on drinks, but maybe I could buy everyone some food. And I'm like, that's very reasonable.
That is reasonable.
Which is really, you know, so like, and also it depends when you showed up.
Yeah.
And like, to be honest, we got through that food so fast, I never saw a single piece. I didn't drink it. I didn't eat any food or get a single free drink.
No, I paid for all of my own drinks, yeah.
So,
although, based fucking bartender at the main event, at the end of it, he looked at me and he was sort of like, "Are you one of the organizers?" And I went, "Yeah." And he literally, and he gave me a triple ramen Diet Coke. Me and Ellie get a triple. I was like, I don't think I've ever even seen
a triple.
Like, that's...
Mate, I'm not going to lie. The bar staff were wildly based at the main event.
They were amazing.
They weren't measuring their pours. They were free pouring. I haven't been to a party with a free pour in 700 years. Don't mention this to the venue because they'll probably be like mad about it. But they were just like...
Someone on Twitter, and this is like one of the complaints, right, that I have to try and ignore because it's like, because you do want to just be like, you dumb motherfucker. Someone was like, ugh, watered down drinks at the bar.
They were opening the bottles in front of us.
It was... I don't know, man. If you're literally getting a like cider or beer out of a tap and you're complaining it's watered down, get a spirit.
Buy the spirits, but I don't know. I don't know what they were drinking, and I don't know. Maybe like I didn't go to every bar. I only went to one of the bars, and at that bar, they literally just had like an absolute tower of booze behind them. So you'd ask for something, and if they'd run out, they literally were like, screwed the lid off and just started pouring. And I was literally like, "Yeet, this is what I like to see."
Drinking water? Yeah, water's pretty watered down.
I wasn't even drinking and I knew they were free pouring. I know. And honestly, there was only like 2 people who left. Like, well, okay, this is untrue because I obviously do not see everybody
leave.
It's just
one person,
but there was like, yeah, but there was just like, right at the end, I definitely saw a few people being like leaning on their mates, weaving out. And I was like, to be honest, given the state of the pours, I'm impressed.
Like, honestly, at the very end of the night, I saw someone, like 3 people come out of a bathroom carrying one of their friends. And she was a little bit like worse for wear, right? She was kind of like her legs, she's like dragging on tiptoes. She's got her like shoulder, like her head like leaning on someone's shoulder. And I was like, "You all right, guys?" And the guy, who I think was a little bit overwhelmed, was a bit like, "Yeah, we're fine." And the girl who was helping the girl, like who was carrying her, who obviously knows the crap,
like, "We've done
she
this
was
before."
Like, "Yeah, we're fine, thanks." And she was sort of like, "I'm all right." You know, it's kind of funny.
Oh my god, we actually have so many exercises to knock off, Jolly. It's not funny.
Right. So, chat.
Yeah. Before we carry on telling you more Twitch London stories.
So I have I can't.
Yeah.
I could show you, but it's like all disjointed. It's like you walked 5 steps that way, 157 steps that way, 2 this way.
You're gonna have to trust us on this because there's no way we can show you.
But
it
I also
on our
think
app.
you guys will probably believe us. So, chat, on Friday, me and Emily walked a collective total of 7.97 kilometers. So one of the mods can please exclamation mark done both 797.
Oh. Well, that's bad. I just opened my Twitter and it's literally someone being like, "I need more of your boobs in my face." Like, okay, well, you're bad, so that's good. Fantastic.
Mood.
Wait, has it gone mad? How many did it knock off? Are we good?
What the fuck?
Did it do it twice?
Yeah, I think I did it twice. Yeah, I think Dean and Peachy both did it at the same time.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah, boy.
Because you know?
You can leave it. You don't have to undo it because I'll do the math. So then on Saturday, we walked 8.52 kilometers, right?
Yeah.
So 8.52 minus 7.97 is 0.55. So if you can do exclamation mark done both 55.
Yeah, and then
that'll be
we'll be square. Dude, I mean it's, we deserve it. I'm not gonna lie, but I think we're doing great. I got a poem to make with Dean. Where were you all night? Literally. But when I tweeted out and I was like, "Where the fuck is Dean?" I had like 3 people come up to me and go, "Where the fuck is Dean? Where's Dean?" People, like, literally after Dean left, everyone was like, "Where is Dean? Bring me Dean."
I did see that Dean walked a fuck ton as well.
Yeah, man.
Dean
We're all going to have amazing asses. We walked so much. Look at them all voting full reset.
Are you...
So now we know the 2 mods that are getting paid.
They fucking wish.
Right. What? What?
Wish. Look, all I'm going to say is, right, if you can all aspire to have nice asses, I am already there. I had so many compliments on my booty.
Okay, how about we do... How about we do a I forgot my brain. Oh my God, are they done? I was going to say we could do a vote.
We only have one exercise to do.
Fred, do it. Do the one. Fred's committed to the squat life now.
Can we do exercise Fred done one?
Wow. Oh, that is a good feeling.
Glad I was facing the camera because I'm pretty sure my crack is out half. I literally just felt the cool air and I was sort of like, wow, if I was facing away from the camera, you guys would have got sight.
All right, Fred, your head's getting a little big now. Your ass is okay. Somebody in the queue was asking a question and was like, do you know who we should ask about this? And someone said, you see the guy with the moustache and the great ass? Ask him. And Fred was literally like...
Someone came up to me and was sort of like, are you the guy with the moustache and the nice ass? And I went, yes.
Mate, I was rolling. The cool air and the whistle gave it away. I dropped my pin.
It was so funny, man. I was in the queue and I was scanning people's tickets.
Thank you.
Emily looked fine as hell as well.
No, we both looked super fit.
Your both your outfits, both quite like attention grabbing, like quite like sparkly. I was like, I love my wife. I love my wife.
No, Fred, not the Borat roleplay out of the bedroom.
So Fred should be Mario in a new movie. You know what?
I would support that.
At least I ain't a giant homophobe. So yeah, road to 100. So guys, I'm gonna try and keep on top of the exercises as time's along.
Yeah. This reset has been necessary.
Nerdy singer Kate was there, and she is the nicest.
She's a delight.
I saw her there, and I was sort of like, I love you for some reason. We've only just met for the first time, even though I know you digitally, but I was like, I just love you.
Yeah.
And her sister was there too. Her sister was really nice.
Yeah, she came with her sister, which, you know, we stand sisters. We do. Yeah. So the whole experience was really good. The whole step and repeat situation was wildly annoying. Like, oof, that sucked. But I'm not gonna lie, everything else went super well. The VIP event was great. It was difficult because both nights, Fred and I spent a solid half on the pavement scanning tickets.
It was
not scanning tickets, scanning COVID
passes, yeah.
So that was a lot. Obviously, if we still need to do COVID passes at future events, I absolutely will. But it was a huge extra layer of stuff. That being said, while I haven't had like the most compliments about it,
I got what you meant.
A bunch of people have said, yeah, no, it's fine.
No, I got you.
Just rocking the moustache. A bunch of people have said, oh, I've been to other events, and that was easily like the most stringent COVID check that anybody's done anywhere that I've been to. We were told that we're better than the Royal Albert Hall. When I presented my ticket for the event, I was told I was already checked in. Mysterious hairy work here. It was nice to see you too.
Someone obviously stolen your identity. Still treasuring Fred's expression as he clocked the detail of my real name. What do they clock? I don't even remember.
Was this the scanning? Now you don't want to...
It's all a blur, to be honest. Like, I'm not gonna lie. If I met you in the COVID scanning queue and I said hello to you and probably hugged you, I do remember that happening, but the details are gone.
Oh shit!
I'm not gonna lie. The app wasn't... The really weird thing, chat, and this is like not how QR codes are supposed to work. I then, after a while, realized that my phone would only scan QR codes if they were upside down.
Yeah, so the blue ones.
That's not
if anyone here is doing events, and you're doing the COVID passes, the white ones scan both way, but the blue ones only scan upside down.
I don't get it.
Not a joke. 100% a thing. Yeah. So, the ridiculous length of my surname.
Oh yeah.
I love a good long name.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was really hard. The thing is, I was talking about like potentially kind of outsourcing that at future events, but I don't believe that anyone else would have done it as thoroughly as we did because it's our event and we were like, we cared so much about it. Like we were really, 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 really careful. Whereas I think that like with other people, it was so many people, it was so overwhelming, and then there was still like full security pat downs as well. Hey Mule. There were so many stages to security at the event. It was definitely like I was really proud of security. They did a great job. And I think that, like, I'm really glad it was us that did it, because if I was hearing afterwards, oh, they actually weren't doing a very good job, I'd have been really, really, really cut up about it. What was it?
And people showing tickets, make sure you aren't on dark mode. I turned the poor guy's iPad off because it was in dark mode. What the frick?
Mate.
Phones are weird, man.
I need to just buy some more iPads, because I rent those every time. And I'm like, mate, how much money have I spent on renting iPads at this point?
Even if we just get some shitty tablets, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I got proper searched. Do you know what? I only had to kick one person out the queue for having no COVID information. It was also really funny, because she was like, oh, I didn't see anything about that. And I was like, it's on the website, it's on the email, and it's on the social media.
Honestly, if you're going to an event, how much is it to rent an iPad? It's a bit.
I think we spend about 200 quid each time to rent about
6 iPads.
6 iPads.
Yeah.
But they come like with all their stuff in a little case and blah blah blah, and then you send it away. Yeah, it was posted so many times.
I had to kick someone out. Emily kicked someone out. I didn't really feel comfortable dealing with a woman who was like
needed kicking out.
So I was like, Emily, could you do that? Yeah. Then I had this guy who's basically COVID pass was out of date, and then I was sort of like, I gave him every opportunity. I was like, I will hotspot my phone. You can stand over here and connect to the Wi-Fi.
Tons of people were doing that.
Walk down the hall, walk down there outside of the tunnel, get your new COVID pass, and then come back. And he was like, no, can't just come in. And in the end, I'd be like, mate, if you can't get a COVID pass, I can't let you in. I'm really sorry. Like, just can't.
No.
And I kicked him out. And then there was another person.
And there were a few people who like didn't have their passes, but they did have their vaccine card. So then we were checking card to ID and being like, right, you were double vaxxed. That's okay.
That's what I had to do for Americans, yeah. There was actually quite a few Americans there. And they were sort of like, oh man, there's one girl only had the first one. The first vaccine, so she was like only one jabbed, and she kind of presented it kind of a bit like confrontationally, like she stepped up and was presented it, be like, huh. And I'm like, Americans are weird. And I looked at it and I was like, can you show me your ID? Boom. And I was like, do you have any recent tests or anything like that? And then she was sort of like, yeah, I took a COVID test a little while ago. It was like, did you get like, have you got it digitally? And she's like, I got it on my phone. I took a picture of it with my phone. I was like, show me the picture. I then clicked on details and saw the date, and it was like from a week ago. And I was like, off you go. Like that's honestly, that would get you a COVID pass. So fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, as well, we were right by Boots, so we were like, Sophie was saying to people, like, if you don't have your COVID pass, you can literally go buy a lateral flow from the Boots at Waterloo above us. Do it. You'll have to wait half an hour, but do your lateral flow, and when it comes back negative, you can literally get your pass that way. But people, like a few people were like, no. And I'm like, all right, well, if you won't stick things up your nose, you can't come into my event.
Yeah. It's really, Mobius. So the German COVID pass worked.
Yeah.
The Netherlands one worked.
Yeah.
The Swedish one worked.
Yeah.
And I think the Norway one worked. And I was kind of
Denmark worked for me.
Denmark,
I had some Danes. It went really well. Like, thankfully, the full pat down, not thankfully, but like the full pat down was slower than the COVID testing. So we were never the bottleneck of the queue, which was amazing. Yeah, it was really frustrating, Ruby, because
I think some people were chancing it, Ruby. I think a few people were sort of being like, but I don't want
You're like Danish people in what the fuck? Norwegian work for scan mine. Amazing.
No, I was really happy about it. I had more than a few people in the queue.
Full pat down was fun.
Thank me for basically doing the COVID scan and stuff like that. And they were like, so even Button wasn't planning on staying very long at the main event because he doesn't want to get ill before he has to go to a funeral, right? And even he was sort of like, oh, you guys are being really safe. All right, I'll stay for a bit longer then.
Yeah.
And so, but Button got absolutely smashed on Thursday, got absolutely smashed on Friday, and I think on Saturday he was sort of like, I can't do it again.
I can't take it.
To be fair, after passing COVID scan in the queue, name tag slowed us down, thankfully. Yeah, there isn't really... I saw a few people complaining about that, and I'm like, I don't really know if there's a better way of doing it. Unless you just wait for a while for the queue to clear out. But everyone wants a name tag, right?
Yeah.
I don't
see what we can do without name tags, and people need name tags. They need... there's merch, and I felt like name tags are important, and I felt like cups are important because for a lot of people I think they added like a layer of safety of being like, my drink is sealed, fuck off. Oh my God, which is really nice.
So the cups, right, the sort of cups, Twitch cups with a lid, so they'd go up to the bar and you'd ask for a double rum and coke, right? And it'd only fill up about that much. Now, bear in mind that they're pretty big, right? I haven't got one to hand, but they're pretty big. So the guy was like, "Okay, do you want me to put 3 double rums and cokes in that one cup?" And some people were like, "Yeah."
Dude, somebody bought a 5-shotter.
A 5-shotter.
They were just selling 5-shotters. I'm like, dude, you're gonna die.
I was like, mate,
you're gonna die.
Drink that slowly, please.
Oh yeah, what did the bartenders do with the cups? So, end of the night, I'm collecting up the cups, and
yeah, it's smart.
No, I had no problem.
No, I was like, that's 200 IQ. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, somebody said that they'd done that, but it was quite expensive, and I was like, yeah, you bought 5 drinks. You don't get bulk discount. Don't talk about it, Siobhan. Don't talk about it. Do not. I did not permit that.
Nothing to do with me. That's all I'm saying.
It's between the venue and
I
the
also never
license.
saw it. It's just a rumor.
It's a rumor. Rumor has it. No evidence. There is no bill stickers. Right.
Nothing in this stream is this is a completely fictitious stream. We're not.
Philbert, you're spot on.
Anything
mate.
we talk about in this stream is not related to anything that actually occurred in real
All
life.
hyperbole. My brain. Allegedly. No, this is actually alleged. I just heard it from someone.
Yeah, it is.
Delete the VOD! Scorched earth! But, yeah, I mean, I thought they were legends. But at the end of the night, I'm, like, packing everything up. And then, like, the 2 girls who were doing the coats.
Yeah.
The check-in.
The charity check-in.
Yeah, just like literally taking bags and coats and stuff.
Yeah, that's the cloakroom.
Yeah, cloakroom. 2 girls were doing the cloakroom, and a bunch of bar peeps came up to me. They were like, "Yo, this event was really fun to do. Everyone was super nice. Blah blah blah. I really enjoyed it. Are you giving out those cups for free?" And I was like, "Yeah. Do you want a cup, or do you want some cups?" And they were like, "Yeah."
Pastry always helps.
Mate, Tom walking away, being like, "Pastry always helps. Pastry always helps." Absolutely hilarious. So they were super nice. They came up, they got some cups. One of them was like, "Oh, my mates actually just started streaming, so I want to give them a cup." And I was like, "Have a cup." And then like about 3 of the bar dudes came up and was literally like, "Oh, you guys giving cups?" And it was so funny because he was like, "This one's going to South London, this one's going to North London, this is going to East, and this is going to West," right? Like, I've got mates all across the city who have just started streaming, and I was like, "Excellent." And they were all like, "Dude, this was really fun. I'd really like to come to next one." And I'm like, "Yeah, definitely do it." And they were like, "Man, the crowd was super friendly. I was so down with that." And I was like, "Yes, freaking legends." Which was awesome.
We only had one situation, which was basically someone getting a bit rowdy in the queue and sort of like trying to start a fight with one of the bouncers, and I was like, "What the fuck?
Why would you fight the bouncer?" I mean, don't fight anyone.
And then the lead bouncer basically took him to one side, had a word with him, and let him in. And I was like, "What'd you let him in for?"
Yeah,
I would have like.
Yeah, because I like saw that, but I didn't really know what was happening. Like, and obviously I'm not security. I don't interrupt. Like, I don't interact with security when they're doing their jobs, you know. But like, who starts on the bouncer? Like, "Oh yeah, you're the one who's legally allowed to fight me. Let's fight." Like, don't do that. Yay, so bossy. It was so good. You weren't actually allowed to go to. Okay, that was really funny. So,
Dude,
one of the
fucking guy.
Okay, as I said, we're not going to go over any complaints people had. We're not going to like focus
this
on
isn't
that.
even a
Doesn't
complaint.
matter.
This is just.
It was just
literally
hilarious.
Yeah, this is a joke.
Yeah. So
Like-
this one's allowed to be mentioned.
Yes.
But right. Some guy was like, "Thanks to the people who came to Twitch London who were actually streamers. There were way too many people there who didn't even stream. Why would you even come?" And I was like, "To meet the community and other stream, like,
So
who do you think you're streaming to?"
I actually replied to the guy, and I was sort of like, "It's a community meetup. The community extends not just to streamers, but also to everyone who watches, including our viewers who got us where we are." And he was sort of like, "I actually should." I think he blocked me, so I
He
can't
did.
see the reply.
Fuck you. Well, no, good. So, right, we were like, "That's very strange." And we were like, "Well, that's kind of what the VIP event is for, right? It's for, you know, because it's not just partners, it's also growing affiliates to come meet the sponsors and meet each other in a more intimate situation." So that's like a couple of 100 people rather than like 1,000 people. Yeah, he deleted his tweets. I think people were making fun of him.
Rightfully so.
I think he actually did both, right? But what was really funny was that the second thing he said when he was like, "Ooh, non-streamers at a streaming event," and I'm like, "Dude, you understand that when you're streaming and you've built a community, you might want to meet those people, and your community might want to meet each other." Like, so many of the mugs who were there were hanging out with the other mugs, right?
Ruby, wait for the punchline.
So the punchline is, after saying that, he said, "I think they need to have a rule And obviously, it's a ridiculous rule. A requirement. And it's a ridiculous rule because it would be impossible to enforce. It would take literally like hundreds of hours for us to do all this.
Yeah.
But he said...
builds a bot for it.
Yeah. He said, you shouldn't be able to get a ticket if you didn't stream at least 30 hours in the last month.
Yes.
Right? So Fred, who, you know, is a bastard, was sitting there laughing at this. And so he opens up this guy's analytics and sees that he streamed 48 hours in the last 3 months. So Fred's like, mate, you can't come to the event. You don't fulfill your own requirement.
No, it was genuinely, when I literally saw that, and then out of nowhere, music started playing. You know, it was just like, I was like, dude, I just want to let you guys know that if we did enforce that rule, unfortunately, based on your analytics, you wouldn't be able to attend.
Yeah, lock him up. That's jail. Did not pass the vibe check. 100%. Like,
Mate, I was
really, really confused by that. And I was kind of
I've never said this in my life. Not once in my life. But he deserved to be bullied.
But there was one guy who was walking to me and another person said, what do you stream? And both of us said we didn't stream. And he seemed really pissed off. There were people there who didn't stream. You met him!
Yeah, you met him!
A legend in the flesh!
Celebrity!
What the hell? Yeah, it doesn't matter if you don't stream. Tons of, like, Twitch is a much broader community than just streamers, right? You think, oh, it's just streamers and viewers, but it's not. You've got developers. You've got you've got moderators, all right? You've got community managers. You have viewers, right? People who are part of communities. Like, why build communities if you don't want there to be people in them?
Yeah, it was funny as fuck, dude. It was funny as fuck. So that was like the most humorous thing I saw out of all the complaints. And like, there are other complaints. It was too hot. Like, actually, guys, it was too. I'm not trying. I'm doing that thing again, right?
Yeah, well, you're being like tilted about it.
I'm being a little bit tilted. So someone was like, it was too warm, and I wanted to go out and get some fresh air, but I didn't want to stand amongst the smokers because that isn't exactly fresh air. And I was told if I left, I might not get back in again because it's 1 in, 1 out, and that's a bad thing. And I was like, but that's safety.
Well, the thing is, as well, that's
a safety.
It was only 1 in, 1 out. And people were leaving and coming all the time. So it's not like you'll never get back in. It's like you might have to wait 10 minutes.
You always know what security like. Security will put it a bit more bluntly. Peachy! Chat.
Robo Gen 8, Youngie, I'm a Peach, Livewire, Sir Swanee. Guys, welcome to Mug Life. Welcome to the way of the Dragonflix.
Guys.
Yep.
Thank you very much. And Terry Lou coming over the Amazon Prime for 37 months. Guys, did you know if you can't your Prime account,
you can sub? No, the smoking area is surprisingly empty. There weren't that many smokers.
You got an entire sheet, didn't you, Imp, of moderator stickers?
Yes, one for each channel you mod for.
Normally, I'm a bit like, you knobleg, take an entire sheet of stickers, but you're the only person I've seen take a sheet and actually it makes sense.
Sarah the Bomb, 13 months. Also at the end of the night, take whatever. Vilcrin, ow!
If there's stuff left over at the end of the night, just take it.
Yeah.
Ruby!
Boom! Ruby True, welcome back. Guys, there's a game giveaway happening right now. If you would like to win a free game, all you got to do is make sure you're following and type in ! Enter.
I'm really glad you had a good time,
Husbomb. Woohoo! Wait, yeah. So, I'm so glad. I really appreciate it. I think that there was a lot from my perspective, like, riding on this event, right? Like, I was incredibly, like, I actually want to give, like, a shout out to every single one of the sponsors because
they were the best, honestly.
It was super, like, brave of them.
Yeah.
Twitch London has always been a successful event, right? No doubt. However, there hadn't been one in 2 years. COVID is still ongoing. People, they were nervous. We explained to them what our processes would be. We had really good conversations with them. And, like, I just want to say, like, Dead Good PR, all right, NZXT, Zotac, MSI, Tiltify, and Aurus all came together with the absolutely stunning and amazing Safe in Our World, who swung in as our charity partner.
Safe in Our...
Yo!
Zera gifting 5 more guys. That's another game giveaway.
Tesper, Killer Still, Maisie, Baby's First Puke, and Telemetry Gaming. Welcome to Mug Life.
Welcome to the way of the Dragonflex.
All you need to do to join these is type !enter and make sure you're following. If you if you're tier 2 or tier 3, you're automatically in. I'm really glad you liked it, Zero. That makes me so happy.
Lemons
coming in with 5 subs. Zelda Shake, K's the Voss, Lord Lost and Found, and Flight UK. Guys, welcome to Mug Life. Welcome to the way of the Dragonflex.
You beautiful people.
So, without their trust and belief in us, it's contrary.
Continue.
Without, I keep doing that with fucking. Don't talk about it.
Can we make it a rule that everyone gives subs on the 28th of every month?
Yes, that's a new rule.
I love that rule.
That's a new rule.
Hey chat, don't forget. Be like, every 28th there's like 10 people here. Like, fucking, I can't take the pressure. Where do we send feedback? Via the email on the website if you would like to.
Yeah. What you do, right, is that you get a bit of paper, write it down, fold the paper up, and stick it up your ass. No, I'm kidding.
Jersey Bean, Lamis, Doom, Toombs, Leanne, and Chef Studley. Welcome to Mug Life. Welcome to the way of the Dragonflex. That being said, if you want to say something like it's hot, it's loud,
yes,
there weren't enough seats.
Yes.
I know. I have heard that.
It is building up again.
No!
There's 93 exercises to do. I'm going to do some in a minute, okay? I'm going to do some, I swear. If everyone could stop giving bits and subs.
Minnie Maestro! Gifted 5 subs to It's Peaches, Kel Bell, Jagged, Simon B P UK, and Jim Bob.
Welcome to the Mug Life.
Welcome to the way of the Dragonflex.
And then, hot and fast, sweaty and sticky. True Broom, I don't know why I said that. 15 months. Thank you very much for the
More Engelbert Humperdinck. I will bear that in mind. Do you know I have an interesting Engelbert Humperdinck fact for you? That's not his real name. That's his stage name. He chose that. Sheldon! Nexus. I'm Laura. Smash T, Clash Wolf, and Nuke Dr. Addy.
Guys, welcome to the Mug Life. Welcome to the way of the Dragonflex. Guys, if you could please raise a fist, flex a muscle, and show us your
vicious Penguin, you have won Sorcery, parts 1 and 2. I think that's all of them.
For fuck's sake, my CPU's gonna hate me. Not nearly as much as I do. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, how dare you. So, yeah, the English, not so good. Like, a lot of the things I was really worried about, right? Like... Woo! Baz! 5 years! That's insane. So, like, things I was really worried about, like, COVID check's not going well. Went great, right? Sponsors not being happy. They were happy.
Took care of business.
Going bankrupt, that didn't happen. That was always a concern. The event being overly full, too many people showing up, and not everyone being able to get in, that didn't happen. No one showing up, so it's dead and quiet and awkward, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Hey, Dan Halen!
2022 cancelled.
Hey!
Dude, I'm never saying hi to you again. Fred, that nearly broke me. I nearly cried. Fuck my emotions. Reese, you know we love you, man. We know we do. Look, so,
what I did is I sent Emily a very emo DM on Twitter about how much this community means to me and how good Twitch. Oh, I did actually read that dilemma, so it was actually very sweet.
Yeah, I was saying I've got a few really long DMs that I need to reply to, but they need each need a minute of my time to get a nice response. I don't want to send you like a flippant like smiley face thumbs up.
And right now we are cocooned. Like imagine just a cocoon, and I'm just sort of like, you know, that's what I'm like right now.
I am the cocoon. So, as you can imagine, there were a lot of very legitimate concerns about rehosting a large event at this time. And it went, hey!
Joe Thomas! Yo, coming up with the 1 year.
Woo!
Thank you for the 1 year, dude.
Pretty sure, pretty much 100% sure my big toe's broken. Sophie and Fred only just regained feeling in their feet last night.
The very tip of my left toe is still numb. Like the very tippy tip.
Yeah.
Other than that, my toes are back now. I couldn't feel my toes after the event. I was like, the QR scanning.
We were hobbling. We were pure hobbling.
Yeah.
The bruising and the swelling on the bottom of my feet was diabolical.
Yo, J-Dad, you want a free game? Literally just the tip.
One.
What'd you do?
Mind Industry.
Min-dust Rye.
Yeah. So
Sophie's tattoo is really nice, isn't it? Yeah, Sophie and Sophie's sister, I guess, like other sister, like sister, but not a sister.
Yeah.
Like her best friend since they were little, both got tattoos, and they both look so nice.
So they're both tagged in the tweet if you want to see them. But yeah, Lauren is my god sister, and so like we grew up together. We went on all our family holidays together. And there's this adorable picture of her and Sophie who've been like besties since they were teeny. In a matching outfit, and it's just a legendary and iconic image of their like years long friendship / sistership. And so yeah, they got tattoos to like commemorate that. So let me show you. Yeah, I can show this. This is fine. I'm muted. I'm an unexperienced streamer. So this is them. This is little Sophie and this is little Lauren.
So cute.
Being very adorable. And notice the stunning matching ensemble, right?
Yeah.
So that is a gerbera. I think that's what the flower is called. And basically, they kept talking about getting like a matching tattoo. And Sophie's got tattoos, but Lauren doesn't. I know,
right? Little baby Soph.
But this is what they both got.
It's fucking
so it's slightly differently orientated because Sophie's got hers on her forearm and Lauren's got hers on her upper arm. But it's the same flower in like a very aesthetic and beautiful design.
Yeah, so good.
And yeah, it was funny because it's Lauren's first tattoo. She went home and saw Uncle Jim, who is her dad, not her uncle.
We call him
but I call him Uncle Jim. I do too. He was like, he was sort of like, it's bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's quite nice, bigger than and because she'd been playing around with the placement, she had a few like inky. Well, actually, apparently Auntie Pam has a tattoo,
but like in the immediate
on
family,
her butt,
guess,
you know.
like...
But yeah, so like or above her butt. It's very like a woman of that age, you know. You go to Ibiza, you get some kanji on your butt cheek, which I'm living for. I've never seen it, but I'm going to ask. But yeah, apparently she'd had it like moved around until she found a placement that she really liked and went with, right? And what was funny about it was that meant she had a few smears of ink on like other parts of her arm. And Uncle Jim was like, what's that? That will come off, right? That's coming off, right? And he was like, they didn't just get you. And like, it's so cute.
Can we appreciate baby Sophie?
Yeah. Look how precious they are.
You guys don't know. You guys don't know Lauren, but she's adorable. She looks like that, just bigger.
Yeah, she's still got like the best cheeks. You're gonna get matching tattoos with your best mate. I love it. So yeah, that's why I took my mum with me to get my second tattoo. Yeah, it was. I'm not gonna lie. Lauren even went first. She sat first. So brave.
Super brave. I'm not gonna lie.
Have I met Lauren? There's the chance.
I don't think so, but maybe.
I don't know. We've seen each other quite a few times.
Yeah.
I also know a surprising number of Laurens. Like a lot. Like I'm mates with Pansy, my blonde mate Lauren. Yeah. My god sister Lauren. And I feel like there are probably more.
But you guys have met skinny blonde Lauren because she's been on the stream.
Skinny blonde Lauren. I she'll like it, to be honest. Yeah, she has been on the stream. Confiscating my water.
And then there's like god sister Lauren, who is also called Lolly, and then there is Pansy Lauren, and then I'm pretty sure there's another Lauren at some point or another.
Yeah, they've been around. Now, yeah, I honestly they were so brave, and what was really funny about it as well was Sophie. So this was. Was this Monday or Sunday?
I don't know what day.
So Sunday after the event, Sophie and Lauren went to see Chelsea women do football, right? And so because they play in Kingston, so they came down to Kingston. We all met up. We had Vietnamese food. We had a bitch. It was delightful. And then Sophie went to stay at Lauren's house, and then went to get her tattoo, and then came home, which basically meant that after Twitch London, she still had 2 incredibly busy days, and she didn't come home until like 10 o'clock last night. What was hilarious about that was she sat down to get her tattoo. She fell asleep.
So.
Snoring and everything. I have a tattoo on my upper thigh, and it honestly felt like I was having my badge tattooed. It was wild. Oh no, was it like
winner in 10 seconds? Yeah. Winner in 10 seconds.
Let's go.
Who's going to win the game?
Mate, how many giveaways are we doing back to back? There were so many gifted subs then. We're nearly at 950.
Spin the wheel, find out what game. What game? Good game. Can't drive this. Game played by Emily. Chat, genuinely. Also, just a really good weekend. I saw Lemons ask when the photo's going to be out. The obviously the photographers want to like do their stuff. Axville and DJ Mule, who are both.
Mule was in chat. Claps to Mule.
Axville and Mule are both so good. I'm so happy to have both of them taking photos.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're just gonna do their thing, you know, process them, maybe like orientate them or whatever they need to do. I don't really know. I don't do photography, so I have no idea.
Yeah. Whatever levels of editing.
Then Tom, I don't know, just got to crack up on Tom a little bit. Make sure he edit in the video.
Yeah. No, so like they'll take a minute. I don't know exactly. Yeah. I don't really feel like chasing everybody up right now. It's not been enough
Everyone
time.
works so hard.
Give them a week or two.
Yeah.
You know. But I'm sure they will be beautiful. And when I know, I will update you. But like, you know, no one is getting any pressure about anything right now. Yeah, exactly.
So you're telling me you've had 4 hours of this meditating, you've done nothing? I'm just kidding, dude. I'm just kidding,
do you know what's really funny as well? Is but we do have the pictures from the photo booth, which will be going up. But I think I will wait till we've got all the pictures and do them all rather than doing them in batches. But we haven't discussed because no one is allowed to work. I caught Ben in the office today and I just sent him home.
I literally...
Ben pops up with a message on Slack and I'm like,
I genuinely was like, Ben, if you don't go home, I'm going to come over to the office, unplug everything, and take your electronics.
Yeah. I was like...
I know where you live.
Some pastry will help.
Did it help, Tom, is the question. How hungover were you? Hey, hang on. Ellen Gill coming in with 33 months.
We're still on the come down from Twitch London. We're still like...
I'm actually really happy to be chatting with you guys today. I was super actively missing the stream. And I was like, even though I'm like still tired, my voice is still croaky, I still feel like I look like a shoe. I was like, yeah, man, I need to come sit down with my peeps, like have a laugh.
Can I show you like my favorite? I've got the... Hey, pizza. I have the motion photos on my phone now, and I'm just going to show you my favorite photo I took.
This is the best.
My favorite photo I took all week was Tom and Leash.
Absolutely stunning energy.
It represents both their personalities so well. Hey, Blue Dragon.
Hey, dude, how you doing? So good. But yeah, I would say, like, in the grand scheme of things, especially because I think a lot of people were like, there was a lot on the line for this, not just with like the sponsors and the venue was under new management, so we never worked with any of these people before. It was both venues that we used. It was pretty much one of their first events since COVID, right? So like that's a huge deal. Everyone was feeling really on edge. Everyone was feeling really stressed out. There was so much like riding on it. And I also feel like for a lot of people who came, and like, as I said, the feedback has been so ridiculously positive, but for the people who like weren't happy, I do think that some of that lies in just the fact that after 2 years of like build up, whatever you do isn't going to be quite right for everybody. And then people are kind of like, but it's such a big night for me. I finally get to see my mates. It has to be perfect. It has to be exactly what I imagined. And like, I get that, but obviously it can't be. And that can sometimes feel a bit like the reality of the thing.
Part of me is a bit like, just have fun, you miserable fucker. Like, you know what I mean? But the other part of me is sort of like, has to sort of be like,
well, like people are like, oh, it's not a networking event. I thought it'd be more that than this. I thought it would be more whatever, you know.
Azzy.
Oh, that was an emote. I was trying to understand what any of that meant. I was like,
bash bush.
Thanks, Azzy. So, like, I feel like, you know, a little bit of the feeling is just that people kind of get really hyped and then get really like...
I do agree. I think it's like...
Hey, Melanin Gamers, how you doing?
Yo, Melanin Games, how you doing? It is a bit like...
Yeah,
it's one of those things where I think people get a lot in their head about what the event's supposed to be. A few people thought it was going to be a big networking event. Other people thought it was going to be this and that. And at the end of the day, I think a lot of people forget that it's just me and Emily, who are married, Emily's sister, and then a friend of ours who's only part-time. And we do our best with these events, but we try to be as honest about the events as we can. It's supposed to be the TwitchCon after party you always wish you was invited to. That's kind of like what we're aiming for. And I know that we're not going to get it right every single time, and we're going to get like things that we miss, things we forget, things that we have to sort of like keep in mind for the next one and stuff like that. But
I think the opportunity to get like all these streamers and viewers and everybody from all over the place down in one place where we can actually all like meet each other and hang out like is really awesome, you know? Yeah, I mean, do you remember, like, I think it was the last one, Scotty, where I made all of those gifts that were like, it's not a convention, it's a party and stuff like that. But like, there are definitely always things, like, I've definitely had conversations.
Robotron was hilarious.
Well, the thing is, the last event as well was supposed to be a live music event, so it was supposed to be a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Will you be doing any collabs with other communities? I don't really know what that would look like. Like, no one's ever approached me about it.
Hey, Jolly.
Honestly, the last 2 years have been a roller coaster for me, as I'm sure it has been for a lot of people. Seeing and meeting so many people again was really something I needed. So cheers. I still owe you chicken.
Thank God.
I absolutely accept chicken. And do you know what, Melon? I'm absolutely 100% open to ideas. Like, it is a bit tough sometimes to sort of like
I tried
brainstorm
to do...
these things. You know, I've only got like I've never really claimed to be a smart person.
Well, no, I tried to do the live music event was supposed to be in collaboration with some other people, and then they just didn't
disappeared. Yeah,
it didn't. Yeah, they just vanished essentially.
Poof.
So then I was like, well, I can still host this, and that was what was going to happen. Yeah, and I think that like the opportunity. Honestly, there are so few venues left. There are so few venues that will like let the doors open to just like everybody, and especially given that it's like a free event, they already feel nervous about that.
We've been to venues
it's really hard
where they want to charge us about 10 grand to open the toilets. Like,
no, I mean you're thinking of God, you are thinking
far off anyway.
No, it was more than that. No, you're thinking of Tobacco Docs.
Tobacco Docs, yeah.
So when we spoke to Tobacco Docs for about our Christmas party some years ago, I sent them what my budget was, and then and it was big. I wasn't being cheap.
No.
It was near enough 30 grand. And I didn't send Tobacco Docs that. I sent like an event company that, and we were going around doing tours of different venues, because obviously we have a lot of like requirements with regards to accessibility, with regards to different rooms, with regards to safety. Like there's a lot of things that need to be in place. You know, sound and lighting, but like I've hired events without that, and then spent a lot of money, because the 10 grand you're thinking of is the lighting and sound for the last event.
Oh, is it?
Because they didn't have anything, it was just empty tunnels, so I had to put everything in. But
yeah,
the Tobacco Docs, we sat down, we talked about everything, and they said, yeah, your budget seems fine, but we are going to charge you £50 per person who walks in, which would have pushed the event's cost to about £128,000. So that obviously didn't happen.
And that price didn't include toilets?
No, yeah, and the toilets were extra. So, yeah, it's difficult, and there really aren't that many venues that can fit that many people.
I do see a lot of people being like, it was too crowded. And then it's like, okay, well, we don't want to limit tickets too much, because honestly, everyone wants to come. Okay, well...
And I cannot tell you how many people I had to give last-minute tickets to. Like, we spent the last weeks just sending streamers who were like, I never signed up, I didn't apply, I didn't do this.
Yeah.
Sending people tickets. Like, and then some of those people were like, it's too busy. And I'm like, what?
No, but Melon, if you have any ideas, honestly, reach out. Because like, there's nothing better than someone reaching out to you with an idea on how we can make the events a little bit more unique.
That's where the idea for the live music event even came from.
Yeah.
Like, it was a real shame that people we were working with like didn't come together.
Vanished.
But... no, you absolutely can't. And the feedback has been so positive. And like, I definitely want to let people who are like unhappy know I like hear them. I also think that there is a level of like
we're not ignoring anyone.
No.
Like I said, like it's not going to be perfect.
And that's what I'm saying. Everyone's hyped. It's 2 years. No, half the people who came probably weren't streaming 2 years ago. Like Gemma wasn't streaming 2 years ago.
No.
That was the first event she attended. And she played a set, but she's gone from never streaming to being a streamer, a really successful streamer with a ton of viewers, who's also a partner in the course of like a year and a half over COVID. Do you know what I mean?
Oh man, Melon, planning an event after COVID, it was so tough. Like I said, I was outside I actually missed half the event.
Yeah, no, we did. I didn't get in until 9:30.
Yeah, like,
when we finished that queue, I've never been so happy.
I walked in and
we
I
were
was
like
sort
hugging.
Of like, it's a bit like clearer than I thought it'd be. There's a lot more people dancing than I thought. Like, are we already playing? And I looked and I was like, Gemma was like nearly done with her set, and I was like, how long was I outside for? Oh my god! And I've only just regained feeling back in my freaking toes. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I honestly. Nothing makes me happier than basically like being like people coming to us and being like, I've got an idea and I think you guys we can do this together. And I'm like, frick yeah. Honestly, making each event into its own thing, making each event appeal to as many people as possible, making the events as interesting as possible. Because like one of the things you don't want to do is just have the like recycle, right? You want to make sure the events are a bit more.
Yeah, I mean, for this one, I definitely was going for a more like traditional. This is what Twitch London is like thing.
Yeah,
because we were like, right,
right,
let's not
make it as familiar as possible.
Yeah, let's just bring everybody back in and be like, hey guys, let's all hang out. And it was crazy as well because it one of the things I've always tried to do, and I am proud of, and I do think is a good idea, is that everyone that we can hire from within the Twitch community is within the Twitch community. So like our videographer is Tom, our photographers, Axville is literally a viewer here. Mule is, I actually met him as a photographer and now is like legit a mate who is also a streamer. Do follow Mule. Yes. DJ Mule.
Mule is very good. Good boy,
like,
good opinions.
All the DJs, all of like basically all of the volunteers, like everyone is from within the community. And I love that because it also means that we get to stick a little bit of money back in the pockets of some of the creatives and stuff, which I also really like. But it does also mean that like, I mean, I've had issues in the past. Like there was one time where I hired a girl to do photography and her pictures were lovely, but she did like 30 of them for the whole event. And that did not make me feel good.
It's tough.
Like she was, just on the off chance in a million years that she's here, her work was gorgeous. I have so much love for her.
They were amazing pictures.
I then realized, right, it's always best to get more, right? You do lights? Yes, tell me.
Awesome.
Because a lot of the time I have to rent venues that don't come with lighting. And if you can do that, I don't
know. Okay, it's one of those things where it's like, and don't get me wrong, a lot of people will be just being miserable, right? Some people will be like, it's too loud and I don't dance, and it's like, I mean, maybe like, and then some people were sort of like, oh, it was I couldn't have a I'm making a voice because I'm a little bit tilted, right? But it's easy to get tilted because you put so much of yourself to these events, and everyone's
oh my god,
everyone's ready to trash you because like basically, or trash the event. But then I kind of associate us with Twitch London, so it's a bit personal for us. But then people are like, oh yeah, no, in the end it was a bit crap, so me and my mates went and sat in the pub. Like, all the Sea of Thieves guys went and sat in the pub. And at the end of the day, I'm literally sitting there and I think they think it's like kind of like a bit of a slight against. They're like, oh, the bar was too long. I'm going to go sit in the pub. And I'm like, dude, the whole point of the event is to get you guys down together, to see each other, to hang out. If you guys decide that you want to go to a pub and chill,
absolutely go for it.
Frick yeah. Like, honestly, I just want you guys to have a nice evening. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. That is really important to me.
Like, and don't get me wrong, I'd love for everyone to be able to enjoy the event, but if the queue's too long for you, the queue's too long for you. You know what I mean? I think straight criticism is not helpful, but real critique is the best way to improve over time. And I love critique. I love people. Maybe not the next day. Do you know what I mean? Maybe give me a minute.
Like yesterday, the come down from the stress, I think, especially with COVID, God, it was so high. I pretty much spent all of yesterday crying at one point or another, just as a come down. It was, you know, when you're like, I hadn't been in my house for days. I hadn't slept for days.
Hadn't seen my cat.
Hadn't eaten food. Like, I managed to drink no water one of the days and eat no food the other. I ate my first meal at like 11 o'clock because Fred literally went out and bought us some jerk chicken from a really hilariously tiny place underneath the station called Jerkaloo. And
it's actually,
I could barely get it down because I was so stressed. It's so hard to eat when you're like that.
I was expecting some of the worst jerk chicken I'd ever eaten. It was actually nice.
Chicken was really nice. The rice sucked. Was crap. Yeah, but the chicken slapped.
I wanted. She was like, what would you like with the chicken? I said rice and peas, and she's like, we've only got white rice. So I was like, then why did you ask me?
Yeah, like what rice do you want? No. Yeah. I'm really happy. I love the fact that like a lot of people as well on Twitch,
and I think a lot of
viewers are quite isolated. People really don't.
Oh, this year, yeah.
The isolation has been rough.
Yeah, and we had so many people who are trans who came to the event. It was sort of like, it was so nice to be somewhere where no one was sort of like, I don't know, being weird around them ever, because obviously you're on Twitch, it's the internet, people are way more accepting, even if we're not on the internet anymore, we're in real life. And it was like a lot of people who are a bit more flamboyant, like name's gone straight out of my head. There's one guy who's a sex positive, safe sex advocate, right? And his business, I can't remember his name. It's like begins with a V. It's gone right in my head.
Valen Vane.
he was giving out condoms as his business cards, so and I was like, mwah, 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 beautiful.
Zenny Valentine coming in with 27 months,
which was it was beautiful. I was like, that is literally 200 IQ. Now he did give one of his business cards, his very circular, rip it, open it business cards to a sponsor, and they were like, yeah, we can never work with you, and he was like, fair enough.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, halfway through I actually felt really bad on the day Ben had a legitimate panic attack.
Yeah,
I just sent him away. I was like, go lie down. He was just he had a panic attack. I definitely, about halfway through the queue, I was cold and I was hungry, but I didn't realize it. And I was just, my hands just started shaking.
Yeah.
And I was just like, calm, you're going to get through it. You're going to get through it. You're going to get through it. Right. And it's going to be fine. You know what you're doing. Like, I can do this.
Really weirdly, I think I'm actually out of the four of us, I was the one, and admittedly, like I'd done the least prep work, right?
Yeah.
I did, like, for me, it's 2 weeks before the event where shit gets wild, right? All the print work has to get done, and it has to get delivered on time. All the print work not only has to be designed and all that sort of stuff, but also signed off by sponsors.
Dee's giving himself to Valenvane.
Valenvane, welcome.
Wait, is Valenvane here? Valenvane!
Oh, he's here. Nice. I was lurking, and we have someone in our there's cause Cat's in, right? Or the only V name I could think of was, for some reason, was Valkyria, and for some reason Valkyria knocked off Valenvane out of my head.
Yeah.
So I did Demolition for a while, and if you guys don't know, Demolition, often the companies do 24-hour shifts, so you're literally, because obviously you need to know where to be, what's safe, what isn't safe, so they do 24-hour shifts, and it's a lot more safer than you think. So I think by doing that in the past, I was actually much more prepared just to like work for a long period of time.
Yeah,
right?
I've definitely done really stressful stuff, like stressful jobs in the past. Like, weirdly, like, it's the classic, the less skilled your job is considered, the more stressful it is. And probably one of the most stressful times I ever had was, actually, I don't know if that's true. I've experienced a lot of stress, but I remember at a job,
looked great.
My first ever job, I was 15 and I was working in an ice cream trailer, which I did for like 2 years. And it was like during the summer, and it was a Saturday, and the queue was just astronomical. And everybody wanted like Carpigiani soft whip ice cream, right? Fair enough, like 99s and stuff. Shockingly, this was, within the family. And that, so I'm doing that.
Like a 99,
And the machine, it's too hot and it's not getting cold enough, and ice cream is just exploding out the top. So you've got like one person pouring the non-dairy ice cream mixture in, and then one person just stirring it to try and get it to go in to cool. And like, you've got all these, like, no shade to like the middle classes, but like a lot of people with their labradoodles are like losing their minds that Jeremy can't get his like double cone with strawberry, and like the queue was just never ending and everybody hated us. And like, it was just one of those things where I think I felt that second of just like, it's never going to end. I'm never going to get to the end of it. Not everyone's going to get in. We're going to run out of ice cream, but like, we're going to run out of space, and everyone's going to yell at me. And like, you're just like, push it down, push it down, push it down. It's going to be fine. And do you know what? We got through the damn queue. So many people did not have COVID passes ready, and we got through that. Fred was hotspotting for everyone. Like, it was pretty wild, but like, we did it, and we probably...
There was a good 5 minutes where I was hotspotting my phone for people, and then I realized I didn't have any signal, and I was like, I'm so sorry.
Oh, God.
I've wasted 5 minutes of your time. Yeah. Go over there and get a signal.
Mate, though, fucking, what's his name? I just want to chat shit about like one of the two celebrities I actually met there. Who's the guy from...
Celebrities?
Yeah, when I was doing the ice cream thing. This fucking... Oh, God. Every description I have of him is really rude, so I'm just going to look up.
You did so fucking well. Thank you very much. And like I said, like,
hey Hayden!
Like I said, we're not trying to claim perfection. No. But I do think overall it was a huge success.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, these are ongoing events. If we can literally make the events evolve, change things, know things for the future, because some people have complaints, right? Not enough chairs. And I'm like, well, if
with more chairs than ever, I will have you know that.
Yeah, and then more chairs than ever, apart from maybe Twickenham. And
yeah, mate, though, people were mad at Twickenham that because there was too much seating, people weren't bundled up together, and I'm like, it's a stadium.
No, I actually saw other people saying that they liked Twickenham the most because there was so much seating. Like, you'll never please everyone.
No,
but like there was genuinely legitimate feedback. Now, sometimes you get a little bit defensive. Sometimes you get a little bit like.
I really tried on socials just to be like,
I've been a delight on socials. I've literally been absolutely, but I completely concede there are things we could absolutely do that are better, right? And I completely concede that maybe we missed something, maybe someone felt like they were like ignored or something like that. But hey, ads, thank you for the tier 2, appreciate it. But at the end of the day, we are trying. I feel like it's the most important thing is to have the.
And everyone did get there, and they did get in, and it was safe.
And as far as I can tell, hey.
That's interesting. Poshcat, that was most people's least favourite, was Twickenham. Yeah. People always came up and told me, like, doesn't really have the same vibe. And I was like, okay.
And people's most favourite, from what I can tell, was either the Summer Bash, which was a sauna, or the tents in Bloomsbury Big Top, and they scammed us for, like, loads and loads and loads of money. So it's like, yeah, they're like, oh, why don't you go back there? And I'm like, because I have to give them like 10 grand because I know they're going to scam me. I have to like account for scams. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not going back there.
And you know what?
Also, like, they were really
oh, we got
abusive.
100% scammed. And yeah, one of the major issues
they were hugely abusive to Sophie because they were like super. The thing is about people who run events or who own venues is that they're all quite they're all old and straight out the 80s, and they're super sexist.
Oh, the sexism sucks.
Oh, mate,
sucks.
I'm with Emily, right? And Sophie's got her
bend over, gifted a sub to I'm Hayden. Mug Life, Dragonflex. If you guys were at the VIP, Hayden was DJing that.
That's wild to me. No, Melon, honestly. So we're at the venue, right? We turn up. Sophie's got a clipboard. She's writing notes. Got a glass on, hair tied up in a bun. Professional. Emily's there. She's wearing some makeup. She's sort of like, a bit like presenting like boss bitch, right? I'm literally in cotton trousers, a t-shirt, a Twitch jumper, and I'm literally like, I'm turning up like this because I literally like decided to come last minute, right? I'm like, yeah, fuck it, I'll come along, and he only talks to me. He's like, so what'd you think about that? And I was like, oh, fuck it.
So Fred's like, Fred will literally be like, Emily, what do you think of that? Emily, you're in charge. Emily, you're making the decisions. Wanted 15,000 to put up curtains. Marty, I nearly rented a venue where the stairs cost 15,000 extra.
It's not just that guy, Melanin.
It's all the time. And that is the standard. So Sophie got told off at this event for nagging because she was like, I'm really concerned we're not going to be ready at opening because you guys didn't show up until 4 p.m. And they were like, yeah, there's no need to nag us about it.
Doors open at 5, by the way, for patrons. They turn up at 4. I literally have to figure out how the AV system works.
Because they didn't know.
And that's the reason why there was a bunch of TVs that just weren't turned on because they didn't wire them in. I literally had to take my laptop because that was the only way we'd get like the DJ thing behind us working. Ah, man. Ooh.
Yeah. And the Bloomsbury Big Top, I feel like if I say allegedly, that'll protect me legally. But they contacted me before the event, about 3 weeks before. And so we had organised, a lot of venues don't like to do any rental based on, what's the word?
Minimum spend?
Based on minimum spend. They want it all to be paid up front. Especially, they like the whole bar to be paid up front.
Well, they're used to Adidas turning up and being like...
So,
you know what I mean?
I said, guys, like, that's not the kind of event we do. So we put down like 20 odd grand, 25, I think, in payment for the venue. And then we had to hit about 30 in minimum spend, right, to pay for the venue. And 40?
It was 30. It was 30 plus then food on top.
And then 10k of food. So
but we didn't prepay for the food. But so yeah, it was all...
They reach out to me 3 weeks before and say, hey, Emily, by the way... Shit. Yeah, it was all shit. They were like, by the way, if you don't prepay the entire minimum spend, we're cancelling the event right now. And I said, that's not how minimum spend works. And they said, we're cancelling the event. So I had to personally...
They made it sound like a good thing, by the way.
Get my hands on that amount of money and pay them so that the event could happen, so that everyone wouldn't lose their money on their hotel, their travel, all the stuff they put down. So I did that. And then they chose not to track the bar spend, despite the fact they said it would be cash only, and only give me back like 34 of like the 40 grand I gave them. So, yeah, I got scammed. And there was nothing I could do because they knew they had me over a barrel. If they cancelled the event, there's nowhere else I can take that many people.
That's what. What happened is that we're like, yo, show us can you show us? Can you show us? They never did. They never showed us receipts. So as far as we can tell. Like, for all intents and purposes, it was one of the busiest events we'd ever had. It's one of the biggest drinking events we'd ever had. Like,
they were like, oh, the bars were dead.
The bars, yeah. And I was like, are you joking?
We had 1,600 people, and the bars were dead?
Yeah.
We had to hit an average spend of like 15 a head, and apparently we didn't hit it.
We had 1,000 people at this one, just gone weekend, and we smashed it. Like, minimum spend, not even an issue, right? And then they're saying, oh, yeah, bar was dead at this one. I'm like, but we had 50% more people.
Subsequently, since COVID, they keep reaching out like, oh, hey, guys, it'd be great to work together. Are you insane? And also, one of our major issues with them, aside from that, was this guy, the guy that we were working with, was so sexist. He called Sophie on the day of the event, like 6 times within half an hour, just yelling at her. So she cried. And Sophie, when she's in like work mode, Sophie's like, let's fucking go.
Sophie's hardcore, right? Sophie is... I mean, you guys saw the video of when we got into the Uber crash, right? And she's literally leaning out of the window of the Uber's window, shouting at the car to pull over because we've got you on video and stuff like that. She's hardcore. She's a ride or die sort of girl. But he just like broke her. Then he phoned. So then I'm like, all right, Sophie, text him, give him my number. I will chat to him. Phoned me up once, asked me one question, and went, cheers, mate, and that was it.
The sexism is honestly worse than I've ever experienced.
Well, I answered the phone. I was like, yeah, mate, what do you want? And he was sort of like, oh, what do you think about this? I was like, well, is there nothing you can do about that? And he goes, I guess we could do that. I was like, yeah, do that. Just get the problem solved, yeah? Because I talk builder, right? I can talk London. And so, like, I'm like, yeah, just get it sorted, mate. Well, whatever you think, right? As long as it's done, it's done. And then he's like, cool, cheers.
Actually, the Straw Bales just host it in a just host the event in a field with straw bales to sit on. In where we live in Kingston, there's a bunch of Christmas shit going on, like Christmas market. And the funniest thing about it is that there were some bales of hay that are being used as like decoration, and I just took a picture and sent it to Sophie and Ben and was like, the chairs are here, and they were both like, it's not funny, I'm gonna die.
Was that the scuffle at the in the queue, Melanie? I saw it happen and I was like, what's going on? I literally had no idea. I thought someone was just being a bit rowdy, you know what I mean? It happens every now and again. But then it's sort of like then
everyone just came in, so I was like, oh, it's okay.
And then we had a chat with like the main bouncer, and then the main bouncer sort of like was like, oh, okay. And then they went in, and I was like, what happened?
Yeah, I didn't, because obviously I was mostly down the other end of the queue, so that was the only thing I actually saw.
Also, we're hands off of security, do you know what I mean? Like, security basically don't listen to anyone.
We didn't hire them, the venue hired them. Sometimes I hire security and I pay them, sometimes not. Also, hilariously, the events company for Bloomsbury Big Top, one of the security guards started following us around. There weren't even enough security to do that. That's wild. Because they were stressed that there weren't enough people. Yeah, that is wild.
That's
yeah, no, it's definitely...
We've had issues with like security being a bit like... Well,
that is really strange as well, because like most, though not everyone, but most of the people actually working at the event were black. Like, so I'm kind of like, what the fuck are you doing?
It's like internalized racism.
Oh no, I mean it's just racism, isn't it? Like, it's just kind of shocking that they're all working together, and even then, it's like I think it's time to just be racist.
If you fancy Melanie, if you just want to like maybe send me an email or DM or anything like that, just let me know about it. Then we can basically give that feedback to them and basically maybe.
Because we can give the feedback to the venue, because the venue hired outside security.
Yeah.
So if we say, hey, that was an experience that some of our attendees had, then they can decide if they want to work with them again or whatever. I know that like they were very stressed because they didn't feel like there had been enough people hired, but then the crowd was super chill. So some guy at the event started acting malicious towards me and my friend, and made me uncomfortable to the point that he kept on apologizing huge amounts.
That's really what?
Yeah.
If anything ever like that happens, guys.
People with my crutches, yeah.
If anything like that happens and you guys feel uncomfortable, someone makes you feel uncomfortable at our events, let me know. Okay, I had an issue.
Especially when we're at the door, because it's easy to find us.
Oh, it's so easy.
And that's also why I wear these sparkly ass outfits, is that I'm easy to spot.
Because we got the nice little AAA, all access all areas pass. We have a little, it's our event. At the end of the day, we're the ones renting it. If we don't want someone there, they're not going to be there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, it was really funny as well, because with the company that scammed me, I reviewed them, and all I said was, the absolute worst company to work with, full stop, right? Who do I get a phone call off? Emily, you've got to understand, you've got to take it down. Emily, don't leave it up. You're pushing away all of our clients. One comment is pushing away all your clients. Where's your existing client base then? Where are they? Yeah. Yeah, so Megs has actually had 2 bad run-ins. One time someone threw up.
No,
there wasn't actually one person from our event, and then one time there was just an asshole who we had to kick out.
Yeah.
But that was actually really smooth, and I'm not gonna lie.
The thing happened at this one. Like, obviously, there's no details. So I don't want to. I don't have permission to distribute this information. I don't think it wants to be distributed. But we had a situation where someone basically, was being a horrible cunt, saying threatening things, and people came to me and they were like, yo, this guy's threatening to do harm at the event, and I was like, oh, can you show me? And they showed me, and I was like, all right, it's gone.
Banned.
I was like,
you stole the NFT, swell.
Chat, that's my NFT. If you can not steal my NFTs.
You owe me 16 Ethereum.
Chat, all I'm going to say is that there is a finite amount of those NFTs, all right, which means that there's worth there. All we got to do is figure out demand.
Yeah, no,
all we got to do is figure out demand.
Honestly, if you haven't seen Dietz's art, you guys are going to want it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I was groped, and then my stalker showed up, and the team made them both gone. I love that for me. Meg, that makes me happy.
You're a stalker, right? And I think if I'm thinking of the right guy, I saw him at the event, and Sophie told me, was put me to one side, and she was like, that's the guy. I literally went to grab him, like literally, because he wasn't very big, and I felt like quite, you know. And I went to grab him, and then security stepped in front of me. Well, we got it, and the guy is literally like 6'8", and I was like, okay.
Security moved in like fucking SEAL Team 6. Now, I would say that of all the venues we've been at, although there were some small issues, and it's not really a big enough venue. Although we did try and do a street party there once.
Hayden, please, no racism in the chat.
Oh my God.
That's a story.
So, I'll tell you that in a minute. But, fucking my brain.
Oh, no, yeah, Melon, honestly.
What venue am I thinking of? The
you're
really
thinking
hot one?
of Summer Bash.
Oval Space.
Yeah.
Oval Space security were the tightest motherfuckers. They were insane. Grabbing and rolling like Batman? No, straight up.
So I'm not averse to a ruck. You know what I mean? I played ice hockey growing up. I did rugby.
A guy once touched up Sophie and there were fists.
Yeah, someone touched Sophie. Apparently, I don't remember. Apparently, I grabbed him by the throat and lifted him off the ground.
Fred straight up picked him up against the wall and was like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? And no one could peel him off. It was insane.
A Welsh nutter.
Thankfully, that wasn't...
Boom.
That wasn't at one of my events, so we're fine.
No, it was at a bar, yeah. Welsh nutter.
Thank you so much.
The most...
Hey, can I put it on your screen for a second while I go pee?
Yes, of course.
Dude. I'll be back in a sec.
Welsh nutter, that name is... I was going to make fun of you for like... Words aren't coming into me today. I was going
to mock you.
I was going to mock the Welsh, but you know how it is. It's good to see you, bro. Thank you very much for 7 months. Thank you for the Prime. Yeah, Oval Space Security were really nice. But that is a much more established event, whereas this was... Even though we've been to 26 League Street before, this was under new management, so it's kind of almost kind of like a brand new venue, kind of, like for all that sort of stuff. Chat is at the top of the hour. Chat at the top of the hour, every hour, we do a little game giveaway. If you guys want to win a free game, all you got to do is hit the follow button and type exclamation point, enter. You can win a free game. Could be a AAA, could be an awesome indie game, could be anything really. It might be a great game. Honestly, I got given. I mean, I won't ruin it. I got given a free key. I got sent a terabyte thingamajiggy from Battlefield, and I've already got Battlefield, so I put the key in the will. Do you know what I mean? Boom. Giveaway begins. Exclamation point, enter, guys. Let's go. I'll legit never forget going to M and Soph and explaining the situation, and was like, don't tell Fred just yet. And I was like, yeah, okay, let's not tell Alex. I'm sorry, I missed your message. As Alex was with all the old school RuneScape guys, I assumed that it'd be, oh yeah. No, I'm a bit of a troublemaker sometimes. I've gotten much more well behaved in my old age though. So this one guy one time was going up an elevator, and there's these two chaps at the bottom of the escalator in like middle of London, having like a goodbye kiss. Do you know what I mean? Kind of just being like, I miss you too. And this guy leans over the escalator as it's going up and just shouts like, get your own room, F words, you know what I mean? And I remember getting to the top of the escalator, I was like, oi, you! And I just ended up like bashing him about a little bit, knocked his hat off the top of his head, knocked him about a little bit, and then he was sort of like, I'm gonna get my brother onto you, and I was like, you're like 40, mate!
He was straight up 40. The funniest thing as well was that that is aside from the guy that no, I'm not going to talk about the homeless man and his balls. Aside from that story, no, it was actually awesome as well because this guy was so smug because he's going up in the escalator. He knew these two guys couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
So he literally was being mad homophobic.
Yeah.
But knowing that like they couldn't catch him, so he just wasn't expecting anything off Fred. And when Fred's like, mate, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, what are you, gay? And Fred went, so what if I am? And just knocked his hat off. But my favourite thing about it was I was standing behind Fred and we're going to someone's birthday party, my mate's birthday party.
Yeah.
And we're at King's Cross.
Oh my God.
And I'm wearing the same heels I was wearing to the VIP event this year, if you saw them. Because they're so old.
I knocked this guy about a little bit. I just want to like...
Yeah, you didn't like fight him.
It's super... No, it wasn't a fight.
But you like shoved him around, knocked his hat off.
Yeah,
you
kind
know,
of like bodied him a little bit.
Boy,
like, he
you know.
had a bike in his hand, the bike fell over. I kind of like trod on the bike a little bit. And I was just being a bit of a... Like, egging him on to throw the first punch. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And Raven Hunter, congrats. You won
Black Future 88.
Nice. And so I then turn around. So he gets on his, he like kind of like gets all small. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm gonna get my brother on you,
and he gets his
and
bike.
He's leaving. And I was like, do you know what? I'm glad I didn't have to get into a fight. I'm glad he's fucking off. And then I turn around, and Emily is standing there in the ready to go pose with her heels in her hands. And I was like, she looked at her. I was like, what are you doing? I was like, are you ready to rock?
Well, you can't get into a fight with heels on.
No, but you had them in
so
like...
I took my shoes off.
You were like ready to go. You know what I mean? Like...
Well, they had really big, chunky wooden D heels, so I was ready to just crack him around the head with them.
No, they were like thick wood, so it would have done some damage. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah.
Also, you just...
Damn, she got your back. I know, and I should have known, but like... It was
just really funny, because Fred's like, well, that was a shock. And then he turned around and was like, what the hell? And I was like, the thing is, the minute it started, I was like, taking my shoes off. I'm like, whatever happens, I'm not having fucking heels on for it. Yeah. And they had little buckles on the ankles where I had to like unbuckle them. Honestly, miracle I didn't get some foot disease.
Apart from Melon, apart from your mate, which sucks, by the way.
Yeah, really sucks.
There doesn't seem it seemed to be like nothing happened. There was no confrontations. There was no sort of like issues. There was no one being weird. There was no stalking. There was no like any of that. We had cups with lids on so people could like get their drinks and all that sort of stuff. And I'm like, mate, who could ask for more? Everyone was safe. And it seems like no matter what, right? Whether you didn't like the music and went somewhere else, no matter if you didn't want to queue up and you went to the pub instead, or if you were just drunk from the day before because you met up early with your mates and you couldn't stand another day of drinking, so you just went to see a movie or something, which someone did. It seems like almost everyone had a good time and therefore a success. Do you know what I mean? I like
honestly, my most important thing is safety. Number one, every time.
It's sometimes quite hard to hear like
stalkers
things like,
show up and you have to deal with that. Like people try and bring in dangerous stuff. I mean, like those are the most important things, and those were okay. I actually just like shout out to Twitch. They sent us those cups. I have been trying to get my hands on cups with lids for time. One, because cups with lids frankly much safer, and two, because they can be reused, which is just sick because it saves so much plastic waste. Because the number of times at the end of an event I see them literally filling up bins with single-use plastic and I'm like, I hate it. Yeah. So like on both of those fronts it's awesome, and people take them home. Also, Sheldon, you didn't get your you guys didn't get your wristbands. Look how tight they are. We got spares.
We got a big bag. We'll get you some. Yeah.
Fred, move your
Sorry.
head. So I'm about to say you had a fat head. That's so disrespectful.
That's what you get. So yeah, honestly, so all the staff behind the bar and stuff like that, they all came up to us and they were saying like, oh my god, this event was so good. I actually wish I could come to this event and stuff like that. A lot of them were like, what's Twitch? I like video games.
Yeah, very cute. Now. And a bunch of people, like the girls who are running the cloakroom, were like, oh, my mate just started streaming. Can I take some cups for them and stuff like that? So we were like giving out cups. Because like they're cups, you know, what are you gonna do? And they were so nice about it, and they were so nice about you guys, and that was actually one of the things that I tweeted out and said like, thank you so much to the community, because like at the end of the day, it's every single person's individual behavior that leads up to a safe, happy event where like security are generally fine, where like didn't have any issues with us, where like the bar staff said everyone was polite to them. Like that is huge, and it means that like we can go back to venues, because like we had a really good time at Oval Space, and our third birthday, which is the event that was happening the day that we went into lockdown for COVID, so we obviously had to cancel that. When
Hey,
Statey,
thank you
27 months. Thank you so much.
Hey, chat, we are only, I mean, that should be 52 subs away from 1,000.
Pog. But yeah,
Thanks, guys.
when
Also, isn't it? Ah! Nice.
But yeah, Oval Space, a Twitch partner.
Story time. I told my Airbnb host the event I was going to, and he's like, "Where have I heard that?" And I told him what my friends stream and stuff, and he thought it was so cool and was so generous.
Yeah, the
Nice.
feedback from people being like, "What is this? Some sort of video game thing?" To people being like, "I'd like to come to this. This seems fun," and that's like such a huge compliment. I was gonna sneeze. Achoo. Yeah.
Nice sneeze.
Don't believe
Good
me.
job.
I thought I was going to sneeze, but then I didn't. Look, the point was that Oval Space, which was security were fantastic, the people we were working with were fantastic. Unfortunately, all of them got fired during COVID, and that was the only event where we've been planning with a woman. She was so nice.
Oh my god, she was
that
the
was
best.
so much stress off.
Oh, she was the best. What's her name?
Charlotte.
Charlotte.
We stand for Charlotte.
Oh, I had an ex-girlfriend who was absolutely nuts. All my other ex-girlfriends are lovely, by the way. She was the nutter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like amicable breakups with everyone else. She was a crazy bitch. And her name was Charlotte. It ruined the name for me. And she was so nice.
She redeemed the name Charlotte.
She redeemed the name Charlotte.
But yeah, so she was amazing. And then the day that event was going down, a Twitch partner. So I used to do these things called community boards, and I loved them. So I used to print them out, and they were like big Corex plastic boards on the wall, and everyone could write their name on them and sign them, and then people used to like to take them away at the end of the night. Some people here might still have a security board, right?
Yeah. Social board. Or community board.
Social board, community board, right? So everyone would write messages to each other, and they're so cute. So, but I obviously they needed to have markers with them, so I buy a bunch of
like metallic
Sharpies,
metallic
right?
Sharpies.
So
So they
everyone
show
could
up on the
purple background, right? Very cute. And then this fucking Twitch one went into the bathroom. It's like graffitiing on the wall. And the bathrooms were so nice.
Yeah, they were posh.
Like on the tiles.
The PUBG one, yeah, really.
With fucking marker.
They were like
So then security
nice
are coming up
tiles.
to me. He wrote his fucking name on it.
And someone else.
Someone else's name.
He wrote his Twitch handle and someone else's Twitch handle. We subsequently had to ban those people. The other guy was sort of like, it wasn't me. And he was such in the panic, I actually believed him.
Yeah.
And then the other guy was sort of like, oh, sorry, mate. Got a bit drunk, you know what I mean? And I was like, fuck yourself.
And I was so worried we wouldn't be able to go back there.
Yourself.
Now, we haven't actually done another event there because, as I said, we planned one, and also the venue's not really big enough.
It's a bit small.
But we could do like a smaller one, and it's also really good for sound, so that's why we're going to do the live event there.
He's probably like one of those guys, do you know what I mean? He's sort of like, oh, just having a laugh in it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. And it's sort of like, yeah, maybe not for you, bro.
Mug meetup. I would actually, we did a mug meetup once, and it was fully fun as fuck. Maybe we should do that.
Yeah, maybe
one day.
Maybe this time with 100% less of your.
Okay, so did I have a stalker come to the mug meetup? Yes, a little bit. Was it generally fine? Sure.
It was a stalker.
It was a confusing.
But it was someone that Emily knew IRL before as a kid, and I think he basically had a little bit of a long-standing crush.
Yeah, I'm like, you know, when you walk in, you're like, oh, friends from the stream. Literally.
And Dave, what are you doing
What are
here?
you doing here? And he was like, oh, I saw online that you said you were doing this, so I came. And I was like, do you watch the stream? How did you find this?
No, I need to plan a little pub meet with a few people. Like, I know MC Fixer wants to hang out and do a bit of drinking, and Mule, if he can come down to London. Because I think Mule's coming back down to London at some point.
Or maybe one day we will have to enter the north. No pressure, but maybe we're going to have to do it. I mean, Tom, but we've done a few meetups, Tom. Can't be stopped.
So every now and again we leave London, right? Shocker, I know. Like,
well, not in the last 2 fucking years.
No, but every now and again we leave London, and it makes me realize how white everywhere else is. I'm not trying to be that guy, do you know what I mean? But I remember when we got married. My best mate's Indian, right? And he was driving me and Emily down.
Because he can drive and we can't.
I can't drive, he can. And he was my best man. He was taking the job very seriously. And we are driving along, and we're in Plymouth?
This is a problem. What's the one right next to Cornwall? Plymouth. Plymouth. We're in Plymouth.
And we're in Plymouth, and people, old ladies are crossing the road, and they're like,
straight up.
Like,
Straight up.
So
it was fucking weird.
It's like just an Indian. It's just Dan. He's from Goa. It's fine. How have you never seen an Indian person before?
Yeah. People also thought he was our driver. We're in like a fucking Punto.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Gee, and my godparents are black, and so they came, and they're like my closest family. Full stop. I love them. My Uncle Jim, my Auntie Donna, they have been in my life literally since day one. They're my favourite people. Sophie and Lauren, Auntie Donna's daughter, just went and got matching tattoos. And they also came back with flowers and advent calendars for us from Auntie Donna because she's such a babe. And it's so nice. And I need to message her and say thank you. Anyway, we're doing Christmas with them and stuff. Well, not main Christmas. That we're doing with you guys, but other Christmas. So anyway, they literally said, so they came down to Cornwall for the wedding, and they rented out a like a nice little couple of hotel rooms for them all, and that's lovely. But they said they walked in to like the bar pub bit of where they were staying, and it was straight up like record scratch. Everyone turns to look, and they were like, all right, like, and thankfully it was fine. Like, everybody was very nice. But you know, when you get that experience of like the number of times I've gone on holiday with my godparents, and I've been like, oh, Auntie Donna, do you want me to like, because we went on a lot of like haven holidays and like weird old houses, because like we didn't really have any money as a group, so there's like 8 of us staying in like Herefordshire for a week and stuff. And the number of times we'd be in like the supermarket. Yeah, Cornwall was fine. Like, they were polite. It was just definitely a matter of like, you don't see people like that around these parts very much. And you're like, sweet, okay. But no, people used to literally be like, I was in Sainsbury's once, and they were like, I'm like 10, packing the bags. I'm like, Auntie Donna, do you want me to put the chicken in with the other meat or whatever? And this woman straight up turns around and goes, did she just call you auntie? Like I'm going to announce I'm albino or something. I was genuinely like...
Honestly, Emily's godparents like the nicest fucking people in the world.
Yeah.
They found out about the situation with my family, because I haven't spoken to my family in like 5 years, because my family went on like a racist tirade and I just cut them out of my life. And
yeah, they called us racial slurs. Which is interesting.
It's interesting, yes.
You know, like, yeah.
I've never actually been called a racial slur before. So it was interesting. Actually, I have.
Definitely have.
I have. I'm a gypsy.
Fred's a gypsy. People just don't know they're saying it to you.
Yeah.
People are just like fucking jippos, and you're like, nice, loving it.
And I was telling the story to them, and they were like horrified, right, as everyone should be. And they were like, "Why don't you change your look?"
Uncle Jim offered you his surname. Yeah. It was like the 3rd time he'd met you, and he was like, "No, this won't stand. Would you like our surname?"
He was legit like, oh, why? And I was like talking about changing my name, right? Because I don't really want to be, because my family are awful. I don't want to be really have anything to do with them anymore. And I was like, he was like, oh, why don't you become a? Can I say the last name?
No.
Why can't I become a Smith? You know what I mean?
Good, nice reach. Yeah.
And he was like, why don't you become a Smith? And I was sort of like, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. Like, that's, and also, I haven't been emotional at all about cutting my family out of my life, because it's easy when they're horrible, right?
He did make
and that
you
was
cry.
The closest I'd ever come to crying.
Yeah.
Fred Smith.
Yeah, Fred was like...
It's a much more interesting name than Smith.
Yeah, it's much better than that. But, you know, you got to reach for a name.
But yeah, honestly...
Plymouth is Devon, not Cornwall, by the way. I know, that's what I was saying. I said, what's the place right next to Cornwall? Mm-hmm. Because where we were staying was a place called Rame, Tor Point. It's a bit right at the top of Cornwall. And that's where we got married. But you had to go through Plymouth to get to it.
Yeah, Rame Head, Heritage Coast.
Mate, that was a tight wedding, though. Fuck yeah.
Oh, my God.
That was so good. Oh, we were dancing until 4 in the morning. Hang on. If you zoom out, you can show people where it is on the actual...
Oh, sure.
Where it is in the actual world. This was a long time ago, though. Right, so...
So?
Are you muted?
Yeah, I'm muted, yeah.
You got us on in the background or something?
So...
Oh, it's vanished.
No, it's fine. I know where it is.
I know, your marker had vanished or something.
Cornwall, the front leg of the country, right? So then you've got Plymouth here, and you zoom in, and you get to this little bit right here, Rame Head. Keep on zooming in, up here, Palawan Fort, and that's where we got married.
Yeah,
it's like a Napoleonic fort. It's awesome.
You guys are ever getting married, right? But you want to do it somewhere pretty lit, but also
thing.
You don't want to spend all the. This kind of. Yeah, this isn't our wedding, but
This
I was
is
like,
not our wedding.
I was like, God, we rented some of those things.
Our wedding fucking slapped this wedding's face. I'm not gonna lie. But look how pretty it is. It's so nice.
Yeah, we got married literally standing there over the sea.
Yeah.
It was fucking stunning. It was a bit far. Well, that's why we rented out for 5 days, and all our mates just crashed on the floor, crashed in the fucking.
We actually played this Jenga as well.
Yeah, we rented the giant Jenga. You know, we had a whole thing. But yeah, basically. Obviously, you know,
super nice though.
They didn't want to like crash on the floor, so they rented a place out. But and I've forgotten what the point of that was. But it was really nice. Oh yeah, the key is right. It's unbelievably expensive unless they have a cancellation. So the key is to get married in kind of a rush and just be like, you got any cancellations and take whatever's available.
Cancellations the
because
best.
People sign up like 2 years or 3 years or whatever in advance. They don't make it, and then I get a half price wedding. My wedding's going to be in the US. Yeah, that is pretty far.
But no, honestly, chat. I want to say thank you very much to everyone who came to Twitch London, because honestly, obviously you guys are the reason why the events exist, right? And I do think overall it was a huge success. I'm actually really happy with it. And honestly, the feedback, as far as I can tell, well, I mean, obviously, apart from people just whinging about like, you know, it was too hot. It's like, oh, go outside. I don't know. Like, you know, it's like I can't do anything about body heat. You know what I mean?
No. Also, no one's tagged me in a tweet being like, it's too hot.
No. I've been scrolling the hashtag Twitch London Twitter, and I shouldn't. But I've retweeted.
You did, Doc. You missed all the juice.
Yeah. Well, it's fine. Like there's a couple of like people who have feedback, and I do want to sort of like take a look at that feedback when I'm a little bit less tired and a little bit more sort of like sound of mind, because I'm so tired, chat. You would not believe this. I think this event really, because it's like the first one since a million years, took a lot out of us.
Doot.
Nice. It's no longer a thankless event. We've got one thank you. No, I'm kidding. No, so many people were really nice.
Yeah.
Fallon Venn came up to me at the end and was sort of just saying how great it was and how much he felt like it was like a place where he could just like be.
One of my absolute favourite things as well was that I was on the train up after the whole going to Byfleet to get nothing situation. So we're getting up there. We're running kind of late, and I'm on my phone, and I saw that Robotron was doing a gig that night, and I was like, "Oh, bummer, he's not going to come, right?" But you know, he actually did an hour-long set of Darkroom for us on an LDN digital event for charity for Safe in Our World. So I kind of was like, I wanted him to come because I wanted to thank him for like volunteering his time for that, and like he's such a hilarious comedian, and he's so talented, and all that good stuff. But I was like, oh, you know, when you got a gig, you got a gig. And at the end of the night, I'm walking down, and he was there. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing here, right? I was like, no way. And he was like, oh, yeah, I was actually quite rude to the sister of the bride at the event I was at, because she wanted me to, like, help her put on some, like, video on the sound system or whatever. And he was like, no, I'm leaving. And I was like, oh, no. But it was amazing to meet him.
He did the Darkroom at a wedding?
No, basically, I think there was like a hen do there or something.
Right.
So they were like, "Oh, can you help us put on a video?" And he was like, "Never."
Robotron is good people, man.
Mate.
So
yeah,
chat. We had an issue at the event. I don't want to like. This is a serious issue, right? We take issues of racism very seriously.
Oh yeah, Hayden.
Hayden. However, maybe not this time, because Hayden. So Hayden was on stage. He was hyping up because Lupac was having a bit of trouble getting people moving, right, on the dance floor, and it was a bit of a situation where sort of I don't think anyone's hasn't done anything in like 2 years, right? He's actually spoke.
Everyone was nervous about dancing.
He spoke about this on Twitter, so I don't feel comfortable. I do feel comfortable talking about this. So basically, Hayden gets on stage to be a hype man to try and get people moving. So Lupac starts playing his usual stuff, which is a bit like house and stuff like that.
Yeah, she's playing house, he's playing club classics, exactly. He's playing like all that kind of stuff.
And everyone is
just
like this.
Dead. And usually people are going mental as soon as the music starts. And I was like,
dead. So
I felt super bad for him.
He has to change it up, right, to get people moving. He's sort of like, what about if I play this? And then people start coming in. He's like, okay, more of this. And it turned into a bit more of a longer, I don't know, what would you say? Like more poppy, more cheesy? Like,
yeah, bit of pop, bit of cheese, bit of indie, bit of I mean, not even like he played like Tarantula and Pendulum and like just shit that like was designed to get people moving.
And then Hayden was basically hype man, right?
Yeah.
stepped up. Hayden had DJ'd all the previous night at the VIP event.
And he literally spent like 2.5 hours on stage just like yelling and being like mad hype man to Lupac. So, super, super big love for him.
Hayden, a few times, I think, as far as I can tell, once every fucking minute, he was like, Oggy, Oggy, Oggy.
Oi, oi, oi.
Which is what you do, right?
Yeah.
And then I think it was at the end of the event or near the end of the event, some guy, a white guy, comes up to him and is sort of like,
what the fuck do you think you're
what
doing?
What are you saying? Aussie? You being racist against Australians, mate?
And he started to try and have a full fight with Hayden. A full fight. And Hayden's like, it's Oggy, not Aussie. He's livid to the point. This is not a joke. That Hayden was like, I'm a bit worried about leaving because I think he's going to be outside waiting for me. Like, he really wants to fight.
He wanted to go.
Right? Because people told me that happened. I thought it was a bit of a joke, and it wasn't. He was laughing. Psycho. So, what? And he was, right?
He was outside.
Okay, do you know what? He was literally waiting, right, to beat you up. It wasn't a joke. And do you know what was amazing about it? Was Hayden was worried. So Robotron, as an Australian, walked him to the train station for safety.
For one, Robotron, what a nice guy.
Yeah.
For two, the fuck?
Yeah.
Was he
your
drunk?
Apartment, not the train.
I don't know how drunk you need to be to think that Aussie is racist against Australians.
In the first place. Like, what? Yeah. That's easily one of the craziest stories. A lot of crazy things happen. When you get 1,000 people together, a lot of crazy things happen. Yeah. But that was crazy.
Mate, it cracked me up, dude. It cracked me up. And I was like, oh, do I actually need to take care of this?
Yeah.
I was kind of like,
oh,
but like,
is this a real thing?
Do I have to like?
Oh, can I buy vitamin D? I just saw it. I haven't had vitamin D in days.
Delicious.
Minty. Just joined us the first sentence I heard because well, apparently not. I don't know who that guy was either, which is kind of annoying. Because if I knew who he was, or if anyone does know, let me know.
Start fights at my
if I knew who he was,
gone.
I would ban him because I don't see any reason.
You get banned for starting fights. Yo, Weetabix, Prime. Welcome to the Muggle Life.
Welcome to the way of the Dragonflakes.
Guys, could give us some love in chat for Weetabix. Thank you very much, dude. I appreciate it.
Piss! Oi, was it you?
Our Fraser, London.
Toot. What did you say in response to that? Like a little taxi. When
I say Lun, you say Don. Lun.
Mate, they'd all just be saying boo. No one there likes London.
No one likes London.
So hard. Everyone's like, why is it in London? I'm like, it's where I live. And they're like, I hate you. And I'm like, okay.
I don't know who he is, but I know what he is.
Fucking coont. Candy! I met you!
Hey, Candy. Good to see you, dude.
Yeah!
I met so many good people this week, man. I'm really happy about how good it turned out. Pierce, coming up with the 6 months. Thank you very much, dude. Woo! Welcome back. It's good to have you.
Well, that's a good thing about everyone having name tags on us. Usually, when someone's like creating drama, Weetabix, thank you. Pierce, thank you. When that shit's happening, you can like clock them and be like, fuck off. Mate, we've got, Sophie has this like document of like people who are banned with like all known aliases, photos. Like if anyone ever brings somebody to us and is like, this person's a creep or he's done this in the past or like whatever. Sophie makes like a full fucking, like I was going to say.
Dossier.
Yeah, like a full dossier of like, absolutely never. Mate, we've got a list. Actually, do you know what's really cool as well? Is we're working with other UK events who do like gaming stuff to like cross-pollinate the list, you know? So that we make sure that the events are safer.
For trying to pronounce my name on my cover pass made me giggle. Good try it. Yeah, listen, all right?
I never said I could read.
You come to an English event, I expect good English names. John, Barry. Kidding.
John, Barry, John and Barry. Those are the only names permitted from now on.
I never claimed to be smart. That's what I'm saying. I'm the worst. Okay, I'm absolutely the worst.
Yeah.
I got myself into a bit of a pickle at some points because I was literally just reading out names, and I'd scan someone else's pass, and it'd just be like characters I'd never seen before, and I'd be like, "Fuck." I was like, "Is that your name?" And they'd be like, "Yeah." I was like, "Cool."
I love that
because like actually saying people's names wasn't really necessary, but I'd say it just in case they were sort of like. Yeah. And I'd be like, can I see some ID? You know what I mean? So I'd be like, that's Sandra, right? And they'd be like, yeah. And I'd be like, cool. Okay, I know that's, you kind of passed my little test.
Can't go to your own event this time because your name isn't John or Barry. Mate, we've done what that...
You need John or Barry, or you need to have more than 30 hours streamed in the last month.
Yeah, I was going to say, we did with that guy who was like, you shouldn't let people in who haven't streamed 30 hours in the last month. And then we were like, mate, you haven't streamed 30 hours in the last month. And then he was like, boo, you guys are so immature. Oh, I'll never recover from that. I will literally never recover. Mm-hmm.
What's this clip? What have you clipped, Wooden Code? I never trust your clips.
No.
You're a menace.
You shouldn't be able to get a ticket if you didn't stream at least 30.
Ah, it's a story. I get you.
It's a glorious story.
Anything I did to get to Switch London, perks being over 25.
I love that for you. I love that.
How was the event compared to the last overall? I think to be honest, it's been so long, honestly. I think the last event was a huge success. It was our first time in
Leek Street.
Leek Street, so I was going to say Oval
Leek
Space.
Street, yeah.
And it was actually really, really good. This event, it is the same venue, but it's under different management.
Mm-hmm. So and it's the layout's changed.
And it almost feels like a different venue because of the management change and stuff like that. I would say it was almost a carbon copy of the last one, kind of. Which is kind of what we were aiming for. We were kind of going for familiarity because it kind of felt like there was a safe route to go. Mm-hmm. Like if we make things a bit more familiar that people have already experienced, then everyone's sort of like, I remember this, yay! Yeah, and we did kind of achieve that because a lot of people did have a really good time.
And it was a venue as well that because we'd been there before and they knew how much money had been gone to the bar before, it meant that we could rent it for like quite an affordable price compared to a lot of venues because
it was
actually, they were like, oh, we met like. We've got the books and we can see how much was spent. We can see how many people came. I don't think we drank them dry for the first time. I'm pretty confident, although I think they ran out of cider.
They did run out of cider.
Someone came up to me and was like, they've run out of cider. And I was like, pick something else.
They didn't have that much left, is all I'm going to say. They shut down one of the bars because they couldn't afford to keep on running out. But they still had some bottles left. I think it wasn't a huge amount, but they still had stuff left. And it was the first time we hadn't... So they actually prepared. So good. I also think the problem was that it took so long to get to the bar. I know that Leash, Tom's... GF in chat, she like queued for like 40 minutes, which is unideal.
Horrific. But the trouble is when you get 1,000 people all coming in at the same time, they all want their first drink at the same time. Oof.
Yeah, I've got some ideas.
And there's no...
I've got a little keep of ideas for the next one.
Yeah.
Things that we could try and do. Because I know that the other room apparently was quite loud, but I never actually went into the other room.
I never got into it. So the bar manager put the music on in there, and I didn't. And he also, I guess, picked the volume. But I literally never got in there.
No.
So people were telling me about things, and I was like, oh, I never saw that because I didn't. Usually I get to walk around the event and make like adjustments. But this time I literally didn't see most of it. I was outside for most of the event. Yeah.
Do you see this cat?
You see, yeah.
She's all like...
I think she's happy we're back.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Hours ago somebody redeemed Florence treats.
Oh!
Are you still here? Sorry. I saw you guys yelling about treats and I got distracted. Timothy! Thank God you're still here.
Let's see if we can wake her up. Oh.
Hey, little Flo. Do you see? I'm gonna go hold the lid by her nose so she knows what she's getting.
Like she knows.
Yeah. You coming over? You coming over? Oh my god, chat, I still have some things I got sent that I need to show you as well.
The longer I spent queuing, the longer my drink order got.
Yeah, and that's also the problem, and I do not blame you in any sense, that like people order more and more drinks, which then makes the queue slower, but then it saves you from going back in, so...
What'd you try and do?
Wait, you guys can't see. Hang on. Hello, Flo. This is from Timothy. He missed you.
Alright, Deets, have a good day.
He missed you. Sorry, Daphne.
Oh, no.
One more. Delightful.
Good job, Flo.
Very good job. One more. She's actually been away from treats for quite some time. She basically, we were at the house so much, she's gone feral.
She's loving it.
Jake Wolf bought a crate of beer and just gave them out.
Mate, yes.
What a legend.
Oh, yeah, Jack got me a drink. I actually... Was that so? Nice. Yeah, I got Jack Hammerslane bought me a drink, which was very kind of him.
What a ledge.
And I bought a drink by someone else whose name I actually bought you a drink as well. I can't remember.
Who was it?
Person. I can't remember.
Who was it? It was somebody whose name I recognised. Like UK Crash, maybe UK's Crash.
UK Crash, or maybe Say Bossy, or something.
No, it wasn't Say Bossy.
No,
I remember what Say Bossy looked.
sort of blur to me now.
It's very overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's very overwhelming.
There's a lot of data for your brain to save, and it just doesn't save properly.
Yeah. Mate, when I caught Ben back outside after basically having a panic attack, when I say basically, I mean having a panic attack, I genuinely was just like, get out of here. Get the fuck away.
They've had pockets full of beer, and I was like, ow! And he was like,
Jake!
It's amazing. I used to put a flask of whiskey inside my jacket for situations like that, but nowadays, places don't. Yeah, I mean, they patted down everyone.
Wow, they did a serious pat down too. They were not joking.
Spend, Jason.
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
It was really overwhelming.
I think we hit the minimum spend. I'm 99% certain we did.
I think for the next one, it was difficult as well because, like, this is such a long time ago, I don't expect any of you guys to remember. But for the last winter event, which was LDN 6, I actually put a message out and I was like, hey, if anyone really likes the events and can Patreon, do, because we've lost money on this entire year, which means that it's really difficult to keep things going. And actually I felt so, honestly, I've never felt more awkward like asking for something. But what was really which was the worst was no one extra Patreon, which, you know, was even more like cool. But then we decided to do the 3rd birthday one with live music, and then that got cancelled, and obviously all the money I'd spent on it got lost, and I was genuinely like, fuck, this could be like, we could be done. So then we did like digital events, and a bunch of our friends really came out, especially for like the first couple of digital events, and were like hosting and raiding and being super supportive. And so that enabled us to kind of like hobble through. But like now getting to the end of this event and it being like good, like I haven't been, but it being good and going really well, and I think the sponsors are happy, means that maybe for the next one I can actually like hire a little bit more help, so that like on the day we're not all like, because you need to be an answer of a million questions. Like, for example, we're about to open and the photo booth won't fit in the area it's supposed to go into, so we moved it to like 3 other areas. So like it's just starting, a sponsor has paid for this photo booth to be here, then the sponsor's not happy with like the angle that the photo booth's at, and like we have to open in 10 minutes, and like it, you know, like there are so many things, but then you're also like picking up and moving sofas and like what?
Dude, hey, can we get a shout out for Van Vane, please? He's also a streamer.
Entiled, OK Coco, targets, team win for the win,
Van Vane,
and
you're
sheep dancer.
You're a he, not a they, right? Am I right?
Van Vane.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
I always just hit they until I know.
Just for future reference.
Thank you so much. It's unbelievably kind. Please go give Van Vane a follow.
This is
professional individual. Imagine if the face was actually on the bottom. Could you imagine?
Ah, yes!
These are just business cards.
Put it on and there's just my face going.
Have fun.
Alright, friends, you ready for this? You ready for this? Just somebody puts it on, just like that.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Such an appropriate clip. It is. It's
that
perfect.
happens every now and again where these just mine would disappear, mine would get even stronger.
Oh my god, it would double in size. I'd be like this.
Thank you, Pizza Pixie. Yeah, I think when we get back into the office, we will be like going through all the emails and like reading all the stuff. If you guys want to send any nice emails to Sophie and Ben, I think they would really appreciate
or
it. Or
tweets or something like that.
Well, no, because there will be complaints. So having like clicking on one and having it be like, "Hello, thank you, I had a great
nice
time."
things to say, that'd be very helpful, because obviously they put Sophie especially put a lot of herself into the event, and it has been you know, whilst the overwhelming majority of the feedback has been positive, there have been some negatives, and I think some of the negatives have been overblown a little bit. So it's kind of like definitely a nice thing to do.
But yeah, I also, I know I thanked all the sponsors, and I thanked Safe in Our World, who literally didn't even have that big a volunteer team, and they like hustled to get the volunteers, and they came down, and you guys can donate to them, by the way, if you'd like to. Our link from the last Tiltify fundraiser is still up. Shenmue 3 for Woogly, enjoy. But like all of the people who were like brave enough to like step back into events after this time, I love you. It was really stressful, and I love you, and you're amazing. And yeah, I was gonna say
some of the complaints are very strange, like things like
No complaints. Sophie's here. Hello, Sophie. I love you.
It's fine, you're out as well.
No, I'm just joking. I love you. A selection of crap. Bills!
Some guy spent £190 on drinks, and he was just like, well, I got my order, and he bought everyone's order around him without a single...
Fuck yeah, big ballers!
God.
Any Oilers in the chat? Yes, Sophie will not be...
Onion, I think it happens sometimes if you are on a transcoding option. If you want to just like refresh stream, it should fix itself.
Yeah, it should do. Mod check oil.
Like I remember someone saying that there was like gendered cues, and it was sort of like, well, I mean, you don't really want to get patted down. Some people who don't want to get patted down by a man or a woman. It's
yeah, you kind of need to just say who you feel more comfortable being patted by.
Yeah,
because people they're gonna
like
touch
that, where
you.
it's like that's not really a valid complaint. Like I do feel you, and I do.
It's like I don't really know what you just have to say which cue you'd be more comfortable.
I don't know what
with.
solution I have for that because you do have to be patted down.
Yeah,
and
that is more important. Like the safety of the event is the most important thing. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I did get some feedback from people saying that it made them feel a lot safer.
Mm-hmm.
It made them stay longer. Mm-hmm. It made them like feel really reassured, because I think a lot of I've been to a couple of gigs since things have started opening back up, only a couple. Sure. And neither of them, they weren't bad, but they were like, you just showed them that your thing said valid and then walked in.
Yeah.
And that wasn't what we were trying to do. We were trying to be more,
like actually safe, not just a pantomime of safe.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I'm really glad that people liked it. It nearly destroyed our feet. Oh, the blood, the tears.
Well, I was out there for 3 hours.
The swelling.
Emily was out there for 2 hours and 40 minutes. You know what I mean?
I went in to get a jumper and to pee, and then I came back.
And but I was out there. I didn't realize I was out there for 3 hours scanning COVID passes.
Yeah, we didn't get into
the queue was so long. I was sort of in my mind. I was sort of like, I can't just leave these lot out here just chilling. I have to if I scan everyone's COVID pass and I get to the end of the queue and everyone gets in, that just speeds everything up and everyone can get in and stuff like that. But yeah, at the end of the day, queuing is just part of it, isn't it? Really, if you want to go anywhere that's popular, unfortunately you have to queue. You know what I mean? It's a bit like queuing at
I cared way less about that and way more about the fact that it was actually safe.
Yeah, no, more people have said thank you for keeping it safe than they have said about oh, I got a queue. Me and my friend did a mute. Hey, Candy! Ooh, elite. Nice. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Did an amazing job, the entire team. Oh, wait, it's going to read it.
You all did an amazing job. The entire team did such a good job. I had a brilliant time, and as someone who isn't usually comfortable in social situations, I felt very welcome. It cheered me up a lot.
Yay. Well, that's another thing, is there are a lot of people who are I don't know about you, by the way, I'm not speaking for you, but there are a lot of people there who have anxiety or are neurodivergent, and creating a friendly space is really important.
With what?
I think he means a COVID vaccine. I'm hoping.
Or just vodka to get it going early. You know what I mean? Don't worry, you're in a queue, but you're already drunk.
Mandatory butt chugs. Don't butt chug, you could die.
Oh my god.
Fact from Emily.
Yes. Just to keep it spicy, just to keep it, you know what I mean?
The pure, honestly.
Either way,
every fifth one would have gone to me. I'm so stressed. No! Why do you quote everything I say? Bad joke, bad joke. It's fine. It's cool. But no, shockingly, we didn't vaccinate anyone
it's
on
London.
the door.
The queuing is a pastime here. Yeah, basically, Poshcat, you're right. But yeah, no. I'm honestly, I am. Now that sort of the stress has melted off, and I've now been able to sort of process the feedback a bit more of of a sound mind. Do you know what I mean? It definitely is made me just. It's really weird. It's this one's only just ended, and I'm already kind of yeah, next one's gonna be good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's actually quite exciting. You know what I mean? It's quite good.
It also sucks as well when stuff goes wrong and it's out of your hands, and you're like, oh,
yeah,
because obviously everyone sees it as you.
Yes.
So then sometimes stuff goes wrong, and you're like, well,
that's
we also
see it as us.
And we're like, oh, yeah. Whenever something goes wrong, Sophie's always like, I feel like I failed. And I'm like, it wasn't you.
No.
Sometimes people are bad at their jobs,
sometimes
you know?
Shit happens, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes shit happens. That quote, what? Shred that muff. You've never played RimWorld, have you, Timothy?
RimWorld, of course. But yeah, no, I was really happy. I mean, I was sad yesterday, but I was really happy in general. I really was. And the amount of people who had a good time, that means a lot.
I'm sorry you were sad yesterday.
I guess it was just hard, man. It was just a
Yeah,
hard
it was
day.
hard.
I watched all of the live action Cowboy Bebop.
Well,
And
it's really good.
It was good as fuck. Watch it. Just go watch it. Don't fuck around.
Also, chat,
100% watch it.
I got a IRL data drive.
So this was one other thing, and I haven't had a chance, but I did post this on socials. If you didn't like it, please do, because it's actually separate from our sponsorship with EA for the Battlefield release. They also sent us a huge box of goodies.
It's 500 gigs.
So we have a data drive like the one in Hazard Zone. I actually wanted to show you guys this because you probably have seen the pictures or the video.
So I opened it
Instagram.
up last night because I was like, "Oh, what's in here? It's a really nice blue controller."
So Fred was like, "Oh, this is your nice new controller because it's like one of like the pro ones.
Mm-hmm.
It's like better than the white one I've got." And I was like, "Blue, sick! Hold your horses! This is a world first. You've not seen this before."
Oh!
What?
It's a Battlefield controller.
Look! So, I'm actually going to install the mod kit from Venom so that it can be wireless charged.
Yeah.
Oh, the Create. Yeah, Fred did say
Create.
Create.
Yeah.
But look at it! Isn't it so... I had no idea.
Nice.
I didn't open it. I just trusted the box.
Look at it. It's so nice. And the back is like kind of like it's got like a I don't even know what you call it. Like a dotted like 3D
like
embossed pattern.
Yeah.
And it's like really textured and nice. And it feels so nice to hold.
Yeah.
And it's proper posh.
Yeah, we got other sticks as well if I would have changed the height. So that's super awesome. I can actually show you guys everything we got. Oh, some of it's over there.
That's right, I get it.
You sure?
Yeah, you go take this.
Put this back in the box for now. But yeah, I've got a spare mod kit from so yeah, we might do that on stream tomorrow.
We also got this.
This, I think. So this is the Logitech G502 out of focus. Yes. I think this might. I would usually say some of this stuff for Mugmas, but I think this is going to go to Ben in the office because I think his mouse is falling apart. You need a new controller? I'm very tempted. I will tell you how it is, but I mean, it's super cute and I love it. So, you know. Is it just this? Yeah. So this I took out of the box. I wanted to try it on. But this is the Logitech Pro X wireless headset. And it is so lovely. Look at the side. Look at this. Look at this shiny. Look at that.
It's very nice. It's wireless too,
it's all clicky. It's got little. Don't know if you guys can hear that.
It's very tactile.
It's very ASMR. So
I have no idea, Pushka.
No, that hasn't been drawn yet. I was actually going to say, keep an eye, if you didn't go to the event, keep an eye on the Twitch London socials, because we have 2 giveaways that we're running at the event that we're going to be tweeting out about probably tomorrow. So you can get your last minute entries in, because I know you get like extra entries for like your
also
picture.
Guys, I actually have one. So Index, so talk about the headset before I get into that.
Sure, remind me of this in a second. So yeah, we got the headset. I would say I haven't used it properly yet, but it's a bit tighter than the Astros. Like it holds your head a bit more,
head grippy,
and it's more sound cancelling. So I don't think I'll use it for the stream. They're like really closed, whereas my Astros are like closed.
And we also got the G512 Carbon.
Yeah.
So this is the wired version, and also like the proper Cherry MX. I think they're Cherry MX anyway.
The blues.
Oh yeah,
so they're clicky.
GX blue clicky. So they're kind of like the Logitech blues, essentially. But yeah, super nice keyboard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep this as a spare because you guys know how often I spill drinks on my
Oh,
keyboard.
it's a lot.
So this is gonna be a spare keyboard for here, unless I want to give it to you guys for maybe Mugmas.
Yeah, we also got this, which we haven't installed anyway yet, but it's a terabyte NVMe from WD Black. And I don't know if you noticed, but it includes the full PC game code. And what does that mean? I have a copy of Battlefield 2042 to put on the wheel.
That's cool.
What am I going to do with the XSLDM bands? I have literally no idea.
Not a clue.
I will. I mean, I don't usually send them out to people because it costs like £2, £3 a go. So if I send them out, it adds up really quick.
I guess
but I will send them out to.
If you're from the UK, I guess you could just slap them in an envelope. You know what I mean? That's like cheap.
True, but it's because it's thicker than the bead. Makes it thick.
Yeah, but it could just be bulky, can't it? It's like
yeah, but then it's a large envelope or a small parcel. because you think, oh, you can put it in, but if it doesn't, like, they charge you more. It'd probably just be a large envelope, not a small parcel, but I've had it before. But don't worry about those right now. That will be, I can't possibly organize a single thing right now.
No.
But that will be another day, and I will try and make sure we get you one. I forgot to grab one. Could I get one as I'm a Patreon? Why did everyone forget? The thing is, Patreon, the tier to get one is £2. These cost 80p each, right? So if I send one to you, I'm losing money. However, I will. Or I'll try my best. Like, I'm being real with you guys. I try. Why do you forget?
Ham.
It would be a large
Keep that
letter.
safe.
Ooh, okay. That means I'm going to lose it immediately. I love that for me.
I'll keep it
That's
safe.
okay. I'm going to put it... I punched the microphone. I'm going to put it right there. Bonk.
Pretty safe.
Yes. Send them out with Mugmas prizes. I can do that.
Chatler.
You would know.
Bum 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 bum.
Dum 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 dum. But yeah, we got a portable data drive. We got all this stuff. Honestly, I got a jacket.
Yeah, the jacket.
Mm-hmm. Me and Dean didn't forget. We ended up with 2 each. Yes. If I come to London, can I connect mine? Collect, not connect. I can't read. But we'll work on that because a lot of you guys will do what you can. Yeah.
And it says Battlefield.
Yeah.
And on the other side, Battlefield. It's like a proper.
Super
it's
nice.
what did Sophie call the material on the inside? Like really soft and nice.
Soft.
Real velour.
Real velour.
She said like it's like a proper good, high quality, 100% nylon. Nylon. So yeah, cool.
It's all soft, and then it's got a little Battlefield thing on it, and I even got patches to put on it.
So it's got like this.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah. So very, very, very happy with that, and it fits both Fred and I, so that's cool.
Yeah. So we got we also got all the patches. So you got the Logitech.
Yep.
Patch.
So I can decide who I want to watch.
Yeah. These patches go on my Astro jacket as well. 2042, Polaris.
So I think did the jacket and the hat
and Nvidia. Not sure why Nvidia's in there, but why not?
Yeah. Yeah. So and yeah, I don't know. Fred's like telling you guys what it's made of, like it matters. But
well, Sophie was very impressed with it. And
it was a sick ass box.
Yeah, it was great.
It was. I mean, admittedly, the only bad thing is it's more cardboard. To the cardboard gods. Like if I moved all the cardboard behind you right now, you guys would be like, "Are you starting a fire?"
There's that as a box, right? And the box is awesome, which is now going to be Florence's new house.
House.
She's
got an house.
You tweeted out, right? What did I tweet out? Better dead than Smeg. 39 months. Thank you very much, chat.
You tweeted it out, but you only took a picture with it. We can show people that sit behind us. But it's like the crate. Smeg, thank you so much, Yeffa.
Already stood up once. Here we go.
Yeah. Can you see how tired Fred is?
Look.
Yes.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely enormous.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Button?
Yeah, you were watching Button in the background. You gotta be up at 5 a.m., Jack, dude. Thank you for coming. I hope you had a good time.
Go to bed, bro.
Please do like the tweets.
Go to bed, man.
Makes me look good when you like the tweet.
The front cover was that Fred has said 100% nylon and then tried to find the second thing it was made of.
Well, it says two things.
No, it's because it's like the upper and then the filling and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, 100% polyester fill.
Come on. Wow.
I don't know what
Forgot
that
about
means.
the filler, didn't you? Thought it was a radiator.
But
could you imagine
I
a
was
Battlefield
confused,
radiator?
Man. I was like, about 100% this now and 100% something else. What the fuck, you know? But yeah, it was super cool, and then the VIP event was really nice as well. By the way, it was just really good. Honestly, everyone had a really nice time.
Yeah,
a few people got quite drunk at the VIP event, and
the cocktails were super tasty.
Oh, the cocktails are good. They did The only bad thing about the place is that they were training their staff about 5 minutes before the venue
They
opened.
hadn't formally reopened yet. So I ordered a cocktail and they went, "What?" And I was like, but it came out good. Chat, can you go like this tweet? Please. Please like it.
What is it?
Please.
Have I liked it?
It's all the innards.
Oh, yes. Good. Yes.
Yeah. Go like it.
Like my own tweet. Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck
Should never like your own tweet.
It's too late. I've done it.
It's a bit cringe, but whatever. And yeah, so the VIP event, I actually ordered a old fashioned, and I got essentially what was some whiskey with an ice cube and an orange peel just thrown in it.
And Fred was like, I can drink that, but the rest of them were good.
I was like, fine, I'll drink whiskey over an orange peel, that's fine.
But the rest of my old fashions were good. And the Dead Good daiquiri was so nice.
I never had one, but
yeah, they were. Yeah. So I didn't realize the venue hadn't opened yet after COVID. We were their first event, and their actual reopening party is happening tomorrow. So no one working in there had really worked an event before. Shout out to Thomas on the door. He was a legend. And we ordered the cocktails, and they literally all looked at each other and started opening the book. And I was like, speakers casually whacking the dust off the speakers. Yep.
Well, this is kind of the problem is that the speakers actually weren't working, so they had to use the overhead system. So usually the back room's quiet, but this time the back room had music, and it was, I think...
I mean, if you ordered that, that's what they'll give you.
Unless they got confused about what tonic was.
I mean, it sounds like you just don't know how to order a drink. My
Bubbly,
gin and tonic.
clear through stuff is always tonic, even if it's lemonade.
My gin and tonics always came with tonic.
Oh, no tonic.
I probably drank it all. Whoops. But yeah, no, I mean, to be honest, that's not the worst. Like, I remember when the first ever Twitch London, we drank the bar dry. And I mean, this was just in a half a venue with like no sponsors and whatever. So yeah, we drank the place dry, and at the end of the night, I went to try and buy something, and they had like nothing left, and Vader came over and was like, I'm drinking gin and cranberry, and I was like, is that a thing? And he was like,
nope.
It's what they had.
It's what they got.
And so like I first met and chatted and like bonded with Vader purely over the existence, or like the, I don't know, like our actual like casual enjoyment of the incredibly bitter beverage that was gin and cranberry. Orange flavor beers? What's an orange flavor beer?
That sounds nice.
Oh, you got a shiny new mug. I love it, Mini Maestro. That makes me so happy.
Nice.
Yes. But yeah, I feel like now we got that one done. It's a lot of stress off.
Yeah, a lot of stress.
Very excited for the streams to come up. Like as they're coming up, I'm super hyped. Ordering a double or something and see what I end up with.
So Bad Boy KS says, you're making history on here, girl. And you're a living legend and future Hall of Famer. How does it make you feel?
It makes me feel very good. Thank you so much. Thank you. But like, honestly, coming out of like, I accidentally invented Twitch London. And now we're here.
Yeah.
Why? I mean,
you invited people down a pub and 600 people said yes.
Yeah. Which was wild to think about, like absolutely unhinged. And like the fact that we've gotten back here post-COVID, like, fuck.
Who wants to go down a pub? 600 people. Yes.
Yeah.
What a fucking day. What? That was crazy.
You did hear someone say they almost had to drink rosé wine because they would run out of everything else. I mean, that's a good sign for my bar spend. A bad sign for them because rosé is rancid.
Rosé is undrinkable.
Rosé can fuck off.
Well, we asked them. I think Ben asked, "How is the minimum? How are we doing on the bar?" And the owner said, "We're very happy."
Yeah, and
so
he also said, "We're not worried." So
and also
I think that's a good sign.
He also was sort of like, I spoke to him at the very end of the night, and he was sort of like, "I've got big plans for future events with you guys," and I was like, "Cool."
Try not to be so sexist.
Cool.
Stop being sexist.
Cool.
Stop it. But I do. Otherwise, I am happy to work with them again, except for the.
I want to pub
sexism.
any day. I'll pub with you. Maybe we'll try to arrange like something like a little bit more casual, like just meeting down a pub at some point.
Yeah. We can definitely do like a mug meetup, like purely for us.
I'm gonna make you all come to London again. Sorry, because I ain't leaving.
I'll go as far as Watford. Yeah. Oh, called Reagan or something. Ooh. We could pick a nice pub. Get a big table.
Yeah.
Everyone could come down. It would be nice. I feel like every time we do a Twitch London and then we don't get to hang out very much, I feel really guilty because I am mentally ill and I feel guilty about everything. I'm like, oh, I threw a whole event, but I didn't get to individually spend half an hour chatting to every one of my viewers. I'm trash. In the bin with me.
So I have. I'm
Onion.
technically. I am technically also mentally ill, mostly because I have...
What do you mean technically?
I am mentally
You're
ill.
just mentally ill.
Fine. Sorry.
Adding all this technically bullshit. You're nearly madder than me.
I'm being dismissed. Yeah. Nearly.
Nearly.
I am actually a bit mad than you. And but I have like anxiety coming out my ears, right? Like steam. And usually when I get super anxious, I get quite like lightheaded and a bit dizzy. Like before the Bloomsbury Big Top event, I actually got so stressed I woke up with vertigo. And the room was spinning, and I actually stood up out of bed and fell into the wardrobe. Like literally, I had no center of balance. Like,
No,
I might
and
as
then
well have been
threw up for like 2 hours.
I might as well have been in space. You know what I mean? 'Cause and I was holding onto the toilet seat like, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, like that.
Yeah.
Because I was literally feeling it was like someone had fiddled with gravity. You know what I mean? And that was like the worst my vertigo's ever been through stress and through blood pressure. Because my anxiety is so bad, I actually I was in a permanent state of hypertensive crisis for quite a long time. Your blood pressure must have been super high. Peachy, you know how high my blood pressure got, right? It was 220 over 180.
Which is like not a number.
That's not a blood pressure measurement. That's yeah.
Bad, very bad. Yeah, no, it's not a number.
No.
It broke the doctor's machine. Not good. So yeah, we've had some health stuff.
It's double what it's supposed to be. More than. It's supposed to be 120 over 80. I was 220 over 80. I was 100.
I had 180. Yeah.
That's scary high. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
was also really bad because that day we were supposed to be going to a friend's dad's funeral who we knew really well. And I think that also because like Fred lost his dad when he was really young, I think like the anxiety of that also ramped up. And bearing in mind this was before the event that we'd had to prepay an extra 40 grand on top of everything else because they were threatening to cancel the event. Yeah, I think it just all really compounded into a really unhealthy thing.
It could have.
Now,
we didn't know at the time that my blood pressure was that high.
No, we had no idea.
And honestly, it could have been quite a serious medical thing that happened to me. But
thankfully, you have a healthy fucking heart.
Apparently so when I went to the doctors, they did a heart examination, put me on a thing, and apparently my heart is like thumbs up. They gave him literally the nurses gave him an EKG in the doctors, and it was during COVID. Because everything's during COVID. And so I wasn't allowed in. So I was sitting outside in the rain. Some of you might remember this from my Instagram story where I was like in the rain with an umbrella, just sitting in a park being like, I'm waiting for Fred. Anyone want to ask me a question or something? And Good night, Tilly.
Tilly, I love you. I will see you for actual video games tomorrow. But what the fuck was my point?
You were starting.
So I'm sitting outside and then Fred's like, oh, it seems like it's very high. And I was like, babe, I'm just outside. Let me know if you want me to come in because Fred has a lot of medical anxiety. It's like a specific
white coat syndrome,
thing. And so what was funny was that Fred was like, yeah, the nurses said you can come in. So they were like, no one else was allowed in unless it was like your carer. And the nurses were like, no, bring in your wife. Do you think that will calm you down? And literally I came in and you were lying there topless, all covered in things like, Help. I'm having a bad day. So like I think that didn't help as well. And somebody also mentioned that like they missed the daytime aspect of the Twickenham event. Totally hear that. I kind of miss it.
I also missed it.
There are very few venues that will do that.
I think it might have helped with the queue a little bit if we had like an earlier entry, but
most venues won't.
Yes.
Now that being said, I would love to. My fantasy event is a street party. So, and this is something we tried to plan with Oval Space. So, Oval Space have a venue, and then which is the Oval Space venue. They have a smaller venue across the road called the Pickle Factory, which is little. And then they have a cafe sort of space with, well, it was supposed to have a rooftop garden, but I think they cancelled it because COVID. So I don't even know if they still have all these venues because
COVID.
I know all the people used to work with got fired.
Yes. The lovely person, Charlotte, that we knew there, who were just singing praises earlier, she's no longer
She's
there.
gone. So I don't know what the people there are like now. But it's also on a cul-de-sac, which only leads to like one other business.
Kind of a cul-de-sac. Essentially, it is a cul-de-sac, yes.
Well, it ends in the river. So like...
Well, actually, it diverts, but that road is cut off.
Yeah.
Like, it's cut off by bollards. But...
So
yeah, it's a cul-de-sac.
It is possible to rent out all the venues and then the road, right?
With the council.
But to rent the road, I think I had to pay the council like 12 grand on top of the cost of renting each of the 3 venues and then security. But that would mean that I could put food trucks outside. That would mean that I could have like outdoor bars. That would mean that we could have like music indoors. But we could also have like sitting spots outside. We could have sponsors in like
happens,
yeah.
I'm going back to Mitcham. I'm finding the Jerk King.
Yeah.
And I'm being like, dude, bring you in your van.
Yeah.
I want to hire you for the evening. Because I used to go to the Jerk King and it was authentic, proper. Because like he would be like, white rice. No, I don't even buy that. I don't even stock that. And I'm gonna drag his ass to Oval Space. And oh my god, it was the best.
Also, I want to bring back. I don't know if any of you remember Cantina Carnitas, who did the food. Well, he did. So we had Black Star Kitchen. They were absolutely amazing. And they did the outdoor food at LDN3, the one that PUBG sponsored. And then we had Cantina Carnitas, who did the inside food. Yeah, like the Jerk King, because it's on jerk chicken. I'm dead. I'm getting jerk chicken. Yeah, it was funny as well, because Fred used to come out the gym.
Yeah. And you need your protein when you go out the gym, right? So I used to walk up to I was like really hungry one time coming out the gym, and I got jerk chicken, and it was so spicy.
No!
Well, it's a party now.
So
It's
much.
69 months, chat. That's a game giveaway.
I love the Southbank Market thing. It's so good. There's so many food options.
So I was quite young. I was coming out the gym, right? And I'm literally talking like I was like 17. And I was typical white guy, never had any spicy food and stuff like that. And I got this jerk chicken, and it was so spicy. And it was actually kind of like stinging me a little bit. And it was like making my fingers tingly, but it just tasted so good. Yeah. And I am a chungus. So I literally was there, and the guy was laughing at me. So I'm sitting on the benches outside this jerk chicken place. And the Caribbean guy, I think he was actually Jamaican, was actually laughing at me because I had tears running down my face. And I was like, eating this jerk chicken. And now jerk chicken is barely even spicy. Do you know what I mean? Unless you get it like proper. But that's like, yeah. Ever since then, I was like.
But then you used to keep going to the gym to eat jerk chicken after, which is counterproductive. But consider it like your protein shake. But yeah, no, we've got like a bunch of really great vendors. The thing is purely one, convincing sponsors that it's like a safe and fun event to sponsor essentially a street party, because it did nearly happen. And two is just getting enough money to do it, because people are always like, oh, why don't you charge for tickets? But I'm not allowed. Yeah.
So this is kind of the thing, right? Mm-hmm. We want to make the events as big as we can, so that we can
give everyone more space. And like I always hear,
the more money we can squeeze sponsors for. The more we can justify sponsors coming, because our events are so good, and the more they can justify spending on our events, the bigger we can make the events. The bigger we can make the events, the bigger party it is. Because we're not a convention, right? We're not.
Also,
we're not
like the more spaces we will have, like there will be quieter spaces. Because like people complain, but like venues only have so many rooms or so much space. So like if I could have a quieter space and then a louder space, and we've got a company we're quite friendly with who make really amazing board games.
Yeah,
I would love to do a board game area. There's just no room. There's no room, and like I already get hate because tickets sell out literally within 18 hours, and then I get a million messages from people like begging for tickets, and then they'll still smack talk me on the internet. Yeah, but I get it, right?
LAP, thank you very much.
3,000th Jewel.
Game donated by
me. What a legend. But
what are we gonna do?
I'm not at all promising that, by the way. I'm just telling you that.
Good night, Timothy. See you tomorrow.
I almost rented a road in Camden as well.
Oh, that would have been so cool. And they
Can't actually remember why it didn't come together in the end.
They were totally up for it. It didn't come together in the end because basically that was when we got the venue cancelled on us for the third one, and we were running around. That's actually how we ended up at Oval Space.
Yeah.
The reason why we couldn't do it is because they were sort of like not. They weren't sure, and then Oval Space said yes. And so
we had 3 weeks to plan it.
We had 3 weeks, so we just went with the first person who said yes.
Yeah. No, also a lot of the vendors, like the food people down that road, wouldn't necessarily still be open.
Sure.
So then it could feel a bit barren. Like some of them would be open, but not all of them. But I think it would have been really cool.
I think it would have been great.
Yeah. So it would have been really sick. Though that being said, I have never seen that road closed for an event, which makes me feel like, would it have ever come together? I don't know. But yeah. Also, you can never guarantee whether you're going to get your temporary events license. Do you know something else I've been trying to do for years? Is an open air Twitch London cinema for years, and it never happens.
So hard.
Yeah. I would love to do that so much because I think that as well would move away a little bit from like it being too loud, right? Like, yeah, literally every time shit doesn't work. But I've got. Well, I mean, again, I don't know if they survived COVID.
Actually, someone did try to start Twitch Scotland, and they were literally, I think they were just messaging everyone who was sponsoring or helping with Twitch London, and they were like...
No, it was a bit more complicated than that.
It was a bit more complicated than that, but also it was a little bit like, I don't think they realized how hard it was. So they were like, and it's not as drama as it sounds, by the way, guys, but basically they were kind of like, oh, we'll just do what Fred and Emily do. And I think they realized how big it can get and how much planning you do need. And I think a lot of people think... And
how hard it is to convince people to leave their houses.
I also I think people
don't want to leave their houses.
People slowly realize, oh, you guys actually work really hard at this. I thought it was just like a birthday party. It's like, no, man.
Yeah.
It's not just like a birthday party. Some events are. Some industry events are. The really small ones with like 150 people. You literally just book a venue. You have like one place they sponsor, and then you just go there and they provide food. And that's like, it's birthday party planning, right? But this is actually kind of like empty hall. You got to position everything. Like you have sponsors, you have activations, you have this, you have that. They want to show off a game. They want to show off anything. They got giveaways, and it's my god.
There's a lot of moving parts.
Oh my god.
That will never happen, Legendary, because Leicester Square is the worst place in London.
Yes, it's
every time I'm forced to go to Leicester Square, I'm like, why am I here?
Leicester Square is like I don't even know how to explain it. It's like it's
once you hit 200 people, it goes rough.
Yeah,
it does. Yeah, and we can't charge stick, but that's okay. Finnerface, hey, Finnerface bought us sweets for America and was a total babe.
Yes.
Hi, thank you. We had a really nice chat.
Sophie Nixon.
But Sophie actually still got them in her bag.
Oh, is she? Okay, good.
No, yeah, we still got the peanut butter M&Ms in her bag.
She took them with her to
get her tattoo.
Get her tattoo, and I was like, "You stole." Luckily, Lime Matilda made us brownies, so that was alright.
Yeah, cancelled out.
What else? Toast Twitch London, Birmingham.
Well, the other thing is that like people often come up to me and they're like, "Emily, I want you to host an event in the north," and I'm like, "I hear you." However, if I was allowed to host a Twitch event in another country, another city, which I do not have permission to do, and I'd have to ask Twitch, and who knows what they would say. If they gave me permission, I then have to host 2 events per year. Minimum, or I lose the ability to host them.
You have to host at least 2 events a year.
Yeah.
Apart from COVID, obviously.
Yeah, and that's why also we were doing digital events. That was like a placeholder for that.
So
if I were to host an event, say in Manchester, I've asked Twitch about the ability to have kind of a one-off tester event. The problem is that most of the sponsors are based down south. I would then basically be running 4 events per year, which would probably cause me to die, at least. Do you know what I mean?
Also, if we host Twitch Manchester, what is it called? Twitch MCR.
Gemma Edwards.
When hours
plays all night. Yeah. So I get that. I hear it. That's probably the most continual thing, is I don't want to come to London. And the thing is, people do need to remember that Twitch London was designed for people who couldn't afford to go to California.
Yes.
So compared to California, it's way closer.
It is much closer.
And you will never get a TwitchCon in London.
No.
Because it's too expensive.
Too expensive.
I've spoken to them about it before. Like, would you think you'll ever come to London? And they're like,
they considered it.
Yeah.
And then they were like, they got one quote through, and they were like, fuck that.
Yeah, it was funny because it was actually a venue that I spoke to once.
Yeah.
And they were the ones that charged me. They were like, it's a 2-floored venue, you have a mezzanine, blah blah blah. And then they were like, 15 grand to install the stairs to get to the mezzanine.
So they were I'm not even kidding. It was like, here's the downstairs. Oh yeah, there's the upstairs. That holds another 1,000 people, by the way. But it's extra for the stairs. And I'm like, do I have to rappel? Can I hire? Do I have to get what?
So anyway, we didn't use that in the end.
Extra for the stairs. And there were no stairs there, by the way. We couldn't go up because they were like, "Oh no, we haven't got the stairs installed right now because someone else is hosting it. They didn't pay for the stairs, so we can't go up there." And And I was like,
fireman's pole, climb the pole.
I was like, what?
It's just, no, do you know what? To make it accessible, right? You either got to climb the pole or we'll have people up there just heaving people up. Like, attach these hooks to your wheelchair.
Like
We're
ants
going
trying
up.
to get sugar. So God.
It's only stairs. I don't know till dates. I guess some people don't want the
I think
upstairs.
a really good venue.
Buckingham Palace.
Buckingham Palace.
Off
good
with their
security.
heads.
Good security at Buckingham Palace.
For 2K,
Stop away from the gates!
I'll supply ladders. Amazing.
I think one of the places that I kind of I don't think Emily ever went there because you were ill. But Printworks is a place in London.
Yeah.
That is a potential for a future much larger event, but it is inordinately expensive.
And like half of it is essentially just a derelict
Warehouse.
So like stopping people wandering off and getting like into Printworks. Also, there's like no outdoor space. And it's completely like entombed, and there's not really a lot of like rooms we could use. So it'd essentially be one very lounge room.
It would be
which
awesome
everyone will be mad at me about.
If Cyberpunk,
Mhm.
I don't know if we ever told you guys that Cyberpunk were on a sponsor, so that's out the bag. So if Cyberpunk ever did sponsor us, and they were gonna like take the entire venue and basically make it into a Cyberpunk event. And so they're gonna like hire like boards and get like people get like a team who would make up everything, and we're gonna have like neon there. We're gonna have like the sort of like samurai bar and stuff like that. It was gonna be absolutely mental. But in the end, I think basically they kind of like
The pressures of the game release.
I think the pressures of the game release kind of being a bit, not only being delayed but also not being ready for any of the consoles. They were sort of like, fuck, we've gone a bit too hard on We've got a bit too hard on marketing it, and I think we fucked ourselves, and they did.
Yeah, we went to Surrey Quays.
We've been to Surrey Quays.
God,
yeah.
it was a few years, and it was a couple of years ago.
It's a big giant warehouse.
I don't remember what happened there, but we went to Surrey Quays the same day we went to Printworks.
It was relatively cheap,
but it was a bit small.
But I think it only held 1,000 people and was completely empty. Like as in, sort of like it was just an empty warehouse.
You need sound. And there's no extra rooms.
That was the plan, yeah.
Yeah, that was.
And I thought that the Printworks would be a really good venue for that because honestly, like,
it's a cyberpunk
it was
venue.
Very Blade Runner if you put neon lights in it, Because I don't know, maybe I can show you Printworks.
Also, where were you thinking of in Stratford? Because Oval Space was right next to Stratford, and no, not Oval Space. Fucking EXP Leisure. R.I.P. that piece of shit. The only benefit was that it was free. And so our second event was held there, and it was a gaming bar, and it was the most derelict piece of shit. Fucking Vince. Oof.
Vince the knobleg.
He'd get kicked in the fucking clunge, is all I'm saying. But like those stairs.
Him in the balls
Sheldon, the back room had a hole in it. They didn't tell me. It was hidden behind blacks. So, like the... Don't. And I was like, I pulled it back and was like, that's the outdoors. That's where the lift used to be, except the lift got...
This is Printworks.
Removed. It was huge.
You see what I mean about Blade Runner, though?
Yeah, we raved, Sheldon. I've never raved.
You had the glory hole? No, it was a doorway to death.
It
was basically a door with a handle.
Yep.
You opened it. It was a 3-story drop. It was just open to the air. It was mental.
So, do you know what I had to do? I was like, what the fuck is this fucking place? But I didn't know this until the day. So I stacked all these tables up against it so you couldn't get to that wall at all. Because I was like, that's too dangerous.
Printworks.
Yeah, Taskmaster did have a task there.
It's just so expensive.
Yeah.
It's just so expensive.
Also, you can imagine it would be loud and that would be bad.
But it would have been good. It would have been fun.
Yeah. Have you ever gone ghost hunting in a haunted place? No, I have not.
I want to do a ghost hunting stream at some point in the future.
It would be so fun.
I want to get all the equipment.
I stand for getting spooked.
I want to get the blue light, the black light even. I want to get like EMF readers. I want to get sort of like the ghost box, like die. I want to get all that, and I want to do a stream. I want to go ghost hunting, and I want to scare the shit out of myself.
Well, in my defense, and in their defense, that venue shouldn't have existed. It was basically a mad attempt at a bar run by a lunatic who didn't tell me that that they had been kicked out of the venue,
Evicted.
and that they had been evicted. That was how we ended up at Oval
Evicted
Space.
for not paying, by the way. They were a gaming bar whose main clientele was the West Ham football team after football matches.
Yeah.
And that was the only reason. Can I come? Absolutely. To ghost hunting, maybe? Yes.
Yeah, I loved the Richmond Park picnic in the park thing. That was so cute.
Oh no, Maggie, I'm talking about real life. I'm talking about you're going to be in person with us.
Yeah.
Ghost hunting.
Yeah.
Unless we do lose power, all of a sudden everything turns off and we're just stuck in the middle of nowhere with no power
Terror.
and ghosts get us. But yeah.
No, Oval Space are not the worst. Oval Space are good.
Oval Space.
EXP Leisure were the ones that went out of business while we were planning an event with them.
Oval Space. It was Bloomsbury.
Big Top.
Bloomsbury Big Top. As far as we can tell, scammed us. Like they gave us no other explanation about why we didn't get our money back. They just scammed us. And the first one was basically just a grifter. The guy who ran it, Vince.
Yeah,
he was just
the
a grifter.
Big Top Finnerface. Yeah.
And Oval Space were a delight.
Very good.
Bloomsbury Big Top also had the sexist motherfuckers. And then this one, the last Twitch London 2 years ago, that was awesome. Those and the AV people were amazing. We paid out the arse for the AV, but
Yeah, because there was no inbuilt, whereas this one there was.
And then this one was great. Apart from, I think they were a little bit underprepared, and they didn't realize. Basically, I think it's been so long since they've done something that they were unprepared, and I think they also underestimated how much work throwing an event is, even if you are just hosting it. Like things like getting the tables in the right place, things like making sure the bars are stocked, like moving the alcohol behind the bar, like that. All that stuff was happening like 5 minutes before the doors open. So it's one of those things where it's like a learning experience for them as well as us. But there isn't really much for us to learn at this point. Apart from
I refuse to learn. No, I'm just kidding.
When it comes to running events, obviously there's stuff we can learn about like the community and blah 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 blah. But when it comes to sort of like when it comes to actually running the events and making things happen,
Mate, Twickenham were great to work with. I was going to say,
Twickenham were good.
How the hell was it difficult to get to Bloomsbury? You couldn't be more central in central London. It's bang in the middle. No. I refuse to hear Bloomsbury's difficult to get to. You are cancelled, legendary.
I mean, the hardest one to get to was EXP Leisure. The second hardest one, in my opinion, to get to was Oval Space. No, it's because
people thought Twickenham. Yeah, Oval Space was like down a couple of roads.
I think it's Twickenham was a bit out of the way.
Yeah.
It was nice for us. It's around the corner, almost nearly.
On the other end, how big of an event do you want? I guess as big as possible, but would that away from the Twitch community? I mean, if it is the biggest party in the world, a lot of people that are outside of Twitch will be there.
Yeah, I definitely don't want it to be the biggest.
No.
My vision is to get us to a situation where we can regularly host a variety of events. Like I said, I would absolutely love to do an open air cinema one day. I've already spoken to a company about it. It just didn't come together because finding a place to actually host that is difficult. I think that, having that with like a mixer before and after so people would chat would be amazing. I also don't know if sponsors would be interested in that. Maybe.
The reason why
I would love to do the street party. That would be the best thing ever. But there's so many things that get in your way. You know what I mean?
The reason why we kind of want to do this is, and it's kind of like the initial idea was a pub meetup, right? But as times evolved, me and Emily have been doing streaming for over 10 years, right? And we realized very, very quickly into our careers that the UK and Europe is kind of like an afterthought when it comes to Twitch and video gaming and online advertising, right? And when you're in America, American streamers have it about 3 times easier than anyone else around the country.
Sponsors, companies,
everything.
My
god, it's so much easier as an American to be a streamer that when I see American streamers struggling, I'm like, how?
What are you doing?
And so for us, what we're trying to do is create an environment where the barrier between contact between like the community, like being a streamer, the gaming industry, we kind of want to, because streaming's not going anywhere. Streaming is literally like the best marketing games could ever ask for, apart from like, advertising campaigns where you slap your game on the side of every bus and stuff like that. But even then, I think Twitch might be even better. And so I'm sort of like, I want to make sure that we can get as many people who are streamers, content creators, people who are even YouTubers. You know what I mean? I'm not, it doesn't have to be just Twitch. It can be anywhere. But the main point is to sort of like bring content creators together with the industry and make bring us up to the level or even exceed what the Americans are doing. Because the UK is we spend the most amount of money on video games per capita of any country, and there's literally no reason why we aren't in the eyesight of
Twitch
of
and of all of the people. Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of our goal. It's kind of like just to bridge that gap and just make sure that we can,
And that's where the VIP event came from. That was Sophie's idea. Sophie was like, but the sponsors and the streamers, we need to make sure they're in the same room at the same time.
I mean, what's your you said the other day about like our sort of like new tagline? Don't even know if you want to say it.
Well, I haven't actually decided. I can't even remember. I actually wrote it down and put it in my keep because I was like, I think that's a good tagline.
I thought it was so good. It's literally the reason why I brought it up, because I thought it was so good.
I think if Twitch London has a tagline, it might be building community, elevating creators. Thoughts and prayers. Maybe you like that. I don't know. There you go. I tested it on my first crowd.
Because honestly, the two things we do is building communities, and we elevate so many content creators. Like, it's all we did during the digital events.
That's deep.
That's deep, man.
It's a party, yo! All that. But I thought it was good. I thought it was a good example of what we're trying to do and what it's for. But yeah, I was going to say...
Well, I was going to say that I've got to go to the shops before they close.
We have to go buy dinner. Not even a joke. We have no food.
But yeah, honestly, elevating...
All we have is cardboard.
Building community and elevating streamers is literally is not only sort of like our tagline, but it's our mantra. You know what I mean? It's like what we're actually trying to do. You know what I mean? I'm trying to like. It's the reason why we host the VIP events. Isn't just like we can easily just host one event, but we didn't
used to.
But we're like, yo, what if we spend a bit more money and we hire another place for a smaller thing for people who are up and coming affiliates and partners to meet our sponsors and maybe make some contacts.
And it definitely would be easier as well to do it like, oh, it's just partners. But like, I think that so many people are really grinding and grafting and like they deserve that opportunity. Do you know what I mean? To like get to meet the companies.
Affiliates are so underestimated on Twitch. Yeah. I feel like affiliates are seen as sort of like these like wannabes.
Yeah.
But they're not.
No.
They're affiliates. They're already making money on Twitch.
And there are so many people who are partners who haven't or don't stream very much or aren't still at that level, and there's no problem with that. But like I feel like ignoring affiliates just for the sake of somebody having once hit a level is just not okay either.
100% agree.
So I don't know, Peachy. I don't know. We all need to have a small mental breakdown, and then also there's basically nothing we can do now because Christmas. So for the Americans, it's Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And then you've got Christmas, and then you've got hangover time. Mate, smooth.
My God,
the new lube really made all the difference.
Honestly, there wasn't a single piece of body hair in that entire thing. Everyone
the waxing
like seals.
That was part of the budget. Did admittedly go on the full dip, but
Mugmas first.
Mugmas, maybe honestly, a mug meetup.
There's nothing better than basically after spending so long thinking about one particular date for over and over again every day. 20th of November, 20th of November, 20th of November. It's quite nice to be like...
It's the 23rd of November.
It's quite nice.
Yes!
It's quite nice to be like, what we counting down to? Right now, nothing. You know what I mean? Like, well, I guess Christmas, right? 25th of December, but that's normal. That's like an everyday thing.
Yeah.
That's at least...
I got no idea what you're getting for Christmas.
Also, who's down for the Christmas stream this year?
Yeah, we always stream on Christmas Day. For those of you who don't know, we always stream on Christmas Day, and we cook Christmas dinner together. We have a couple of beverages, and it's delightful. And then we go away and eat it.
Right, chat. We're gonna go and give a little host
to a
good pal
a living legend.
So, if you guys don't know, the wristbands are designed by a good friend of ours called
all of you, Carlo Bear. All of you who are literally at my neck right now, saying, "Emily, send me a wristband. Send me a wristband." If you like this, all right, you can say, I can't show you the bottom. It's great. Say thank you to Carlo for his amazing fucking designs. And he did all the logo and everything.
He's currently playing Battlefield 2042.
Yes.
So if you guys want to go have some fun with him, go give him some love from us. It'll be much appreciated because he's an awesome individual.
Yeah.
And chat, we're going to get out of here. I fucking love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in today.
We will see you tomorrow for a normal video game stream of good vibes. Click over, go say hi to Carlo. I'm so sorry.
We've been live for 3 hours. Where have you been?
Mate.
But chat, we're going to get out of here.
We barely got through everything we even wanted to talk about. Legendary. Amazing time. Thank you so much.
Love you guys so much.
Face, thank you.
And yeah, Twitch London. What a huge success.
Pug.
Nice. Alright guys, peace out. Bye.